All right. Three, two, one. Fake clap. Welcome to the Afrotaku podcast, episode 63. The podcast where we talk and everything else. I'm Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-hosts who will introduce themselves starting right now.
Hey, it's Player Five. I'm joined here by my co-hosts who will introduce themselves right now.
This dirty mother effer, bro. After all
Every
this
time.
time, he got to start off with the pettiness. No, that's fair. I
Every
mean, he's
time.
just living up to his name, right?
Every time.
Let's go. What's going on, people? It's Jugger.
Hey.
No, the way. He's starting off good. All right.
What up? What up? What up? I am Gramps.
It's gonna be that kind of episode. All right, let's
Here we
jump
go.
straight into the story time. Jug got a story
Oh,
time for us
shit.
today.
All right.
Take it away.
So, man. All right. I'll just more or less tell the story. Okay. So, I've been going back and forth for work, pretty much in the same location where there's not really much popping. I'm mostly just been going there to do work and only for work. My mindset was stick to the grind. That's it. That's all. But if you're gonna be there, like trying to socialize with your colleagues, I feel like you should do so too, right? But I wasn't gonna start anything. In any case, get a text from one of my coworkers, and he's like, "Hey, yo, bro, found a spot supposed to be popping. I'm like rounding up the whole squad. Let's check it out." And I was like, you know what? That's it. Let's check it out, right? Get to the spot. Decent bar, not too big, but it's like right on like a river waterfront. Good atmosphere. Music wasn't like too bad, and it was decent. I was like, okay, let's chill, let's chill. So we're just hanging out with like me, him, as well as like our colleagues, more or less like bonding as a team unit, if you will, right? All good, all hunky dory. My plan wasn't really to get crazy, just more so to like socialize, be part of the manner, right? Okay. So like I said, the music was decent, right? So what I didn't know though was that they were actually going to get a live DJ later on. So it started off decent. DJ came on and he starts dropping some bangers, and I'm like, shit. And then like in my head, I pretty much have to make a decision, right? So it's like, one, do I go crazy in front of my colleagues and then now have this kind of new, we'll say, perspective on like Jugga as like as a worker compared to Jugga as a, oh shit, this is Jugga, you know what I mean? So I kind of had to make that decision in my head, and before I knew it, the decision was already made, right? So I'm already going in, it is what it is. Can't really stop the beats, going in, cranking it is what it is, what's up. And then he played like one of my OG bangers, Humble by K Lamar, and I'm just like, oh shit. All right, I guess we could really do. We got to give these people a show. And then I'm going in. Next thing I know, literally a whole bar looking at me, colleagues like, yo, let's go, turn up. And I'm literally just like, sit down, stay humble. It's like, this is what it is. Having a good time. While all this was happening, I'm getting eyes from like, everybody, like I said, right? And there was like, I'll simply describe them as a few, women looking in my direction. It's like, oh shit, okay, he probably not from around here. Kind of looks, you know what I'm saying? So like after I'm done, I'm like going back to my college routine, like, oh shit, Jugga, I didn't know you can move like that. And I was like, so I forgot I can move like that too. Been grinding so long. But anyways, so while we talking, those like when I was talking about like come up and like approach me, like, man, like wow, and like this just to give you a frame of reference, they were like they were pretty gone, it seemed like, and they were kind of classic, I don't want to be bogus here, but like classic fangirl kind of compliments that like at least I'm already used to when I'm like cranking it. So they were like,
Damn.
yeah,
Okay.
your
Okay,
moves, it
Jug.
was decent. Like they were like, oh my god, like you're like so cool. Like I was like so surprised. And they even like mentioned like, oh my god, how you sat down, stay humble, like you're so clever. And I was like, yeah, okay, basic shit, right? And like to me at the time, I really didn't. I didn't really feel anything to it. Like I really like we're just looking at it, I was like, okay, thanks, for coming up to me. But like your words are like just so basic to my ears at that moment, like I didn't really see him as nothing.
My boy is
So
a
I
whole
was like,
celebrity.
I mean, I know I sound really like a dick right now, but really, it really did
No,
just seem like basic compliments. And they weren't even trying to start really a conversation. They were like completely fangirling. So it was just like, thank you. I didn't really have anything else to say. I mean, I wasn't really interested. And they were like, yeah, cool. And I was like, all right, thanks for saying that. See you around. And then I turned to my colleagues who are also listening to that conversation. And this is what started, this is where the whole story time before I'm bringing this up. They looking at me like, bro, what are you doing? Well, why are you like spinning their game, like getting the numbers, taking them back home? And I was like, them? What do you mean? Like they're like okay, I guess. And they're like, they're okay, bro. Those are baddies. I'm like, baddies, and like that's where it started to process to me. It's just like, wait, y'all really thought they were baddies? And it's like I don't know. That's where I started to think. I literally had like an introspective like reflection moment, and I was like, I looked back at them, and when I looked at them again, I was like, I guess they do kind of fit a common quote unquote baddie title, but I guess I was maybe like so like one washed like brain well not brainwashed per se, but like have the perspective of like one just straight Instagram if I'm being honest with you, and then two like as far as how, like me going out at least in Chicago, like they were probably at least in my opinion like 5'6" compared to like what I'm used to going out to in Chicago, where it's like the standards more or less 7'8" for what I'm seeing. And it's just like, okay, I could kind of see it, but they weren't, all that. They weren't like, saying anything special, enticing or sexy, anything like that. And we're just talking about pure bodies. They were like, okay. But like, again, like I cannot stress to you how much they were surprised on my reaction to like interacting with baddies. And I was like, man, is this purely based on like just how my perspective like just got warped? Is it my perception of just like how to handle women right now, where I'm at in my life? And then it was just like, fuck, am I getting old? Because I started to think, okay, who are these guys thinking that they're baddies so surprised? And like they really were. I think they're like right at 21. I think maybe the oldest of 23. And I was just like, maybe that's what it is. Like they're like so new to the game in itself that it was literally hard for them in their heads to pass on an opportunity with even potential baddies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just like, am I just getting old? Am I just like, you know what I mean? Like I kind of had that moment of like, what really is going on with me? Is it me? Is it them? Is it just how I see like certain women? I mean, I don't know, but it was really kind of an eye opener to me, and I've been thinking about it ever since. It's just like when I look at certain chicks, do I consider them baddies, and would the world consider them baddies? And it's just like, what would I do in that moment if they approached me, etc. I started running through like literal like multiple hypotheticals in my head kind of since then, just like scouring on Instagram. I'm like, okay, do I consider her a baddie? Oh, maybe not. But then I see some of the comments, and they like automatic simping, worshiping her, like literally asking like for her whatchamacallit, just
her toenail pictures.
Yeah, like literally everything, right? And I'm
Toenail
just like,
pictures is
man,
crazy.
I'm just not seeing it. So in any case, like long story short, it was an eye opener to me, I guess, to say that my overall taste has started to like dwindle without me even noticing it. And it's just like, damn, maybe it's just age, or maybe it's just in general. But
You say
I got
dwindle?
two things.
I mean, like as far as to like I mean, like just think about. I mean, I'm using age as a good example here, but it's like when you're like just getting into like what, like 18, 21, the club scene, like you're really starting to get like this area or like atmosphere of just like attractive women starting to hit you. You're starting to notice them, and you want to be a part of their lives. I'm saying like, compared to like all the women you consider beautiful, hot, sexy, like people who you want to talk to, compared to now. Like I'm sure like that, like the amount of women like that you were Gucci with has like slowly started to dwindle. You have like certain preferences now that you didn't have before. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about that process. Like I feel like now I'm starting to fully realize that my preferences have, in a sense, dwindled or like lessened to a point to only hold like a certain amount.
Can I say something on that?
Women. I was gonna say
on that because you my man Jugga just hit 30 now. I've been in 30 for a little bit. Let me tell y'all, all right, look. When I was a young buck, I was out here thirsty, just like Jugga was saying with them young dudes. Oh, you ain't gonna talk to a young man. Now I'm 30, bro. Way more girls coming after me, and I'm tired. I ain't want to deal with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, the older the berry, the sweeter the juice. What can I say?
Sweeter the juice.
What can I say? I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm like, look, women had that advantage when we was younger. I ain't gonna cap. I'm like, bro, it's over with in the 30s. It's switched up. Now I'm the one swerving all the bitches.
So
you know what I'm saying?
confidence. It sounded like, so I had two things I wanted to say through the whole story. The first thing and the quick thing is you're parched or your thirst is quenched and them niggas was thirsty. That's really what it was. Hey, some niggas was thirsty, as Deuce likes to say, them motherfuckers was horny, right? But you wasn't. So that's the one. The second thing though is through this whole story, I never realized that when it comes to dancing, that you're like a anime villain. Like
Villain?
the comments you were making were very like, yeah, man, this is basic shit. These Shikamaru or Jotaro, like the anti-hero or anime villain type of comments around your dancing skills. Like you was like, yeah, bro, this is just basic shit. And then when they was coming up, they were like, these women didn't even realize the like complexity of what I was actually doing. They just saw the base. Yes, duh. I sat down, of course. That makes sense. Song, but you didn't realize the artistry behind. Like that whole time you were speaking, I was like, yo, Jacoby, when it comes to dancing, this nigga don't play, bro. He's definitely anime villain tier. He up there. So that's all I wanted to say.
Damn, I didn't even realize that sounded like that.
I mean, that is the place. That is the place where he unleashes his most alpha version of himself. After all, we all have a place where we unleash our alpha. Mine is the gym. His is the dance floor. Player 5 is at the school bullying the kids.
I
don't know. I mean, I really wasn't trying to sound like at least like a dick there. It just I don't know.
Sound like a dick. You just sound like
anime
anime villain. That's it. It was what it was. Like you knew that, like it, like what he's saying, like your alpha or your confidence with dancing came out in that story, which is just like, yo, this is nothing for me. But y'all are amazed. Like I haven't even. It's that 10% moment. Like I only showed y'all 10% of what I could actually do.
It's like
y'all
that's not even my.
this is goated. Like,
that's not even my final form.
Right.
You just look back at him like pathetic.
Oh shit. All right,
but no. After that moment, yeah, I'm looking at things a little bit differently now. It's just like shit. This is where I am in life, I guess. Crazy.
Let us move on to the world of TikTok real quick. There's stumbled upon over these 3 months that I wanted us to respond to. My screen and play it for the group / audience. We'll discuss.
If a gang war broke out between PS 118 and 3rd Street School, which school wins?
PS 118 is beating their ass.
Beating them.
Taking Harold's big ass.
Harold and Helga
Come
is
on.
wrecking shop.
You sure, boss?
I know about
City
that.
kids over the.
And then you got to think about the 5th graders, Torvald and them.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what about the girl?
Big Patty.
Big Patty she was the OG. She was bullying Harold.
Spinelli and old big
Spinelli
boy
and
got
them all-
nothing for him.
Nothing. What, you gonna stick Gus on him?
The stupid ass king guy.
Even Brainy would do numbers over there. Yeah, fuck out of here.
Say Brady's getting his ass beat though.
Who?
Yeah,
What you mean? Arnold crazy as hell. You remember? Don't hit me. I'll hit me.
But he only did it to himself.
He would do that and then be
I
taking
don't think
himself
that's
out of
gonna work.
commission. So while he's putting on the performance, Big Patty, Helga, and
Nah. Think about it.
Sorry.
If we're going 1-on-1,
main character
TJ beating the shit out of Arnold.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
With the kickball.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Decent
Let's
arguments
respond.
there.
all right. So PS versus I don't even know what the name of the recess school is, but the recess school.
We
Third
don't call him Grove
First of all, with a
Yeah,
name
right? Grove Street.
how do we not think these niggas is gonna win? They did catch me with some of the older niggas. I forgot about them and Hey Arnold.
Bro, that ain't fair, bro. You got to go
Yeah.
main cast. You
Yeah. I ain't know they were doing the whole show.
can't
Look,
bring in other
hey,
niggas, bro.
We can go main cast versus main cast. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And if we
I just
talk main
want-
cast versus main cast, I got recess in it all day.
Facts. They
I
washing
I
it,
gotta
man.
say that really this becomes an argument of suburb niggas versus city niggas, right? Like because really they all just some 3rd graders or 4th graders or whatever. So like, it's just like, who do you think will really win it? Because like everybody like in recess is going home to a 2-parent structured home. Niggas from Hey Arnold out the hood. Motherfuckers live with rats and roaches. Like
these niggas live in New York.
yeah, bro. They got a harder life, bro. So I just think off that alone, they've probably been into more fights. They got a harder life.
No, bro, stop. So with privilege comes one thing that people tend to forget: martial arts. Some of them niggas is in martial arts. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not sleeping on what's Buddy name with the green jersey, the black homie. I'm not. First of all, he's a sportsman, but I'm not sleeping on he not in at least.
So you think he better than Gerald?
Of course. I think he bodied Gerald. I think he
he's
more athletic than Gerald.
Vincent or whatever. The black guy?
Vincent.
Vince versus Gerald in a 1-on-1 basketball game.
Did Gerald have skills like that? Once again, I'm thinking that didn't have cable. So I don't know the Hey Arnold characters that intimately. I know the names, but I didn't watch the show because I was on recess, bro. I had local TV.
He got it.
You know I think Vincent is more athletic and body than Gerald for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All agree that TJ and is body and Arnold for sure. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Big facts.
They got Randall in the corner. He gonna snitch. He gonna have the police in the fight anyway. So like,
I think player 5 you froze.
Oh yeah, but he did freeze.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think who has the best hands out of each group. I think on Hey Arnold's side, we might be looking at either Helga or Harold. Can we agree with that?
Right.
Yeah.
And then on Recess side,
you gotta
stop. One thing I want to put out there that they disrespected in that video was my nigga Gus. If anybody watched that dodgeball episode with Gus, yeah, it was just dodgeball, but Gus ain't no regular little kid. They were trying to make it seem like you could just steamroll. He is not that. He comes from a military family.
Yes, he's an army kid. Like what do you?
Yeah, he's not just getting steam. It was really trying to make it seem like he was just some loose nigga in the street. Stop. And what's her name?
Yeah.
The science chick. She throwing some gas on somebody's face or something, bro. She making a chemical concoction.
Yeah, because I mean that's one thing too. Like Recess kids got the strats though. Like Recess kids got strats. I mean, they literally have plans like almost every episode, right? Like versus Hey Arnold will just be straight scrapping. So I mean, if we're talking about like on site, I mean, maybe an argument there, but I mean, I know it's like the whole thing with like quote unquote prep time here, but but I mean, if there's even a hint of a game war happening, I mean, if Recess got time, like they taking the W like literally 10 times out of 10, I would argue.
Yeah, I would give the Recess kids 8 out of 10. I could see like Helga and Harold pulling up some shit, but I think there's heavy sleep on the Recess cast. Like big homie, like he's not a fighter, he's a pacifist, but I'm sure if he see his crew getting bodied, like he's gonna flip out. He's gonna take 2 to 3 niggas with him. It's gonna take some shit. So I don't know. I'm putting at least my money on Recess 8 out of 10.
Yeah, and we know Arnold ain't rocking anybody at all. He's definitely going down as soon as the fight starts.
Yeah, but the problem is like as soon as you take Arnold out, I think Helga to take at least one body. I think she getting one body off. So TJ is probably out immediately after you knock Arnold out. Helga out of nowhere, boom, TJ done, and then you can play it you want. And then I don't know, Spinelli. I feel like there's heavy sleep on that too. I think she got some hands as well. Like I thought there was a lot of disrespect thrown on the.
Yeah, I think she take out Helga. You know what I'm saying? I think Helga might take out TJ after he knocked out Arnold, but I think she got something for Helga for sure.
Yeah.
Helga front. She faking. You know what I'm saying? All that tough shit that ain't really real. That's a show. With Spinelli, she
no, I just seen player 5 shirt. That's crazy, bro. Thou shalt not try me. Thou shalt not try me.
Absolutely. My computer's tweaking. I don't know what happened.
Okay. So where you got? So I said 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10 recess. I said 8 out of 10 recess. Gramps, Deuce, what y'all say? And
I go 7 out of 10 recess. You know.
So if we're to assume prep time in two of these scenarios, but then we're also to assume one of these fights is on each of the show's turfs. I would say Hey Arnold can probably take 2 out of 10, giving them their turf, so they have the home field advantage. They know their neighborhoods. They know they know the ins and outs. And then at the prep time as well, they might be able to do it if it was on their home turf. So I think no matter what, if it's on their home turf, they know enough to be able to take these niggas out. So that's why
his head's in the stoops.
all they gotta do is lure him to Stoop Kid's house. Stoop Kid will take him down.
I think that I'll go. So I'm thinking that it's not just fights, but like just also kind of them doing some of the things they do in their shows. The recess kids definitely got the strats. They gonna outstrat these niggas. Them Hey Arnold niggas don't even be in school like that, for real. They some hood niggas that Hey Arnold. So shit. Off strats, I'm gonna give recess kids three dubs. Off tenacity alone, these Hey Arnold kids really live with the rats and roaches, bro. I gotta get them 3. So we sitting at 3-3. The last 4, bro, I gotta go to the Hey Arnold niggas. Arnold himself soft, but Helga gonna fight for her man to the death. That's facts, right? And like,
We talked about that one.
Mikey soft for real. Mikey soft, and my nigga, big bro from Hey Arnold, he not built soft like that. He soft. He ain't as soft as Mikey. Mikey really.
Harold.
Mike. First of all, Mikey's bigger than him. I
would say yeah.
And then second though, so we talked about the Helga, and what I said was, look, TJ gonna body Arnold, and at that moment Helga gonna rage out. She's gonna get one. She gonna get one dub off the rage out. But Spinelli, I think you sleep. Spinelli could take her, bro. I think Spinelli could take her.
I think Spinelli got the coldest hands of everybody in both groups. That's a fact, because niggas in Hey Arnold really don't got certified hands like that. None of these people got hands but Spinelli, right? But Spinelli can't fight the whole game.
You sleeping on Gus. You sleeping on Gus, bro.
Sleeping on Gus. Military kid and dodgeball. El Diablo was his name, bro.
Okay.
Whoa,
if you put the dodgeball in his hand, he gonna cause a problem.
But he's also an army kid.
He's kind of useless without the dodgeball, bro.
Come on, man. He an army kid. You gotta stop.
But based on that argument, he getting at least 1 KO from it. And honestly, we could probably argue any KO off of the Hey Arnold team. So,
okay. Come on, let's be honest. I don't mean to put this on Gus, but we gotta be real. If he didn't find the niggas at recess, Gus is a school shooter, bro. Stop playing. Gus he's getting somebody.
Okay, I'll get him.
He's an army kid.
I get him 4 W's, right? 2 off strats, 1 off Spinelli, 1 off Gus. This Mikey being big shit as a resident big nigga. I'm not going for that. It's only 2 big niggas on the phone now, me and Don. So with that being said, bro,
wow.
Mikey's the softest big nigga, period. Just because he big don't mean shit. He really about to lose his big nigga card. His belly just really keeps him in the...
He's the tank, bro. He's the tank. Niggas gonna be running up on him trying to throw hands. He's just gonna be eating it.
He's
eating it.
Bro. I feel like the moment he starts seeing his friends getting bodied, we get in a rage. I think we unlock in there. That's all.
We didn't see this rage all show, but he gonna do it against these hood niggas. Come on, bro. Niggas not built like that. he gonna like, bro. These niggas really think some shit. He gonna cry and run home, bro. He not built.
All right. So what's your final verdict then? So you think the Hey Arnold niggas is taking it most?
Yeah, Hey Arnold niggas 6-1. PS 118. What you talking about? Yeah, 6-4.
How many out of 10?
Hey Arnold.
Oh, that ain't too bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all right. It sounds like with enough evidence on the recess side, you could be convinced.
I could be convinced. But y'all disrespectful talking about 8 out of 10 recess, bro. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, because who they got though?
Helga, Rage.
Yes,
They
yes.
got the numbers. They main cast is bigger. They're jumping niggas. They hood niggas. They definitely jumping niggas.
But what
And
I'm
then
saying
don't
is,
forget niggas.
Hey, Recess got the police, bro. I'm telling y'all.
hey Arnold, hey Arnold, jumping niggas is crazy. Thinking about that is crazy. But
I you them Hey Arnold niggas have no issues. Ain't gonna be no honor. They gonna be like, bro, jump him. I'm gonna be over there and get stumped out.
here's my thing: they steal off Gus. This nigga's glasses is broken. He raging out, bro. Then all they do is a little dodgeball roll by. This nigga, he just like to me. I just outside of Helga and the bully dude, I don't see anybody else really with that.
Yeah. The only other person
And I can give you at
low-key
least
did-
three. I can give you at least three
Hey,
from Recess that's with that.
I think Randall is a stand your ground nigga. He the type of nigga that'll shoot him and then go to the police talking about I was in fear for my life type shit. Like, Randall got one in the cut.
Oh shoot! Bro. No, man.
That's funny.
All right. Well, either way, it seems majority is on the Recess side. Once again, just to reiterate on that video, y'all was mad disrespectful for Gus. Gus is not that. Y'all sleeping.
That nigga a school shooter, bro.
Exactly, and that's why
I mean, that's the point, though.
going home and playing with guns. That's all I'm saying. And if the wrong person steal off him, he coming back with one of those. That's what I'm saying. If you put two of the fights back to back, like, oh, we took an L on the first one, that second one, Gus is coming back with a gun. And when he come back with that shit, it's over with. That's an automatic win on the second one. You know Gus coming back with a blicky at that point. What? No, you
telling me wrong. Telling me wrong.
This the difference, bro. Is that when TJ see his homie with the strap on him, he gonna be like, Gus, bro, it ain't worth it, He gonna talk him down. Gus gonna do it. Them gummy niggas from PS 118, they go, Gus, show 'em what we like, bro. Go get a body. They built different out there, bro. You see the episode. Now, one person in Recess had a background like them dudes in AR. Dudes are literally living outside in AR. Stoop kid don't leave his stoop, bro. Like, he got some shit.
Nah, bro. I feel like Gus's granddad is the nigga from Hank Daddy from King of the Hill. He's either his dad or his granddad, bro. He just gave me those vibes when I look at Gus. It's like he just
I picture
old ass grandfather talking.
I picture Gus as Leapfrog from Hinomaru Sumo. That nigga definitely is gonna come in there with all the heart.
The heart.
Tough. No, I can't put exactly because of the lose part. I can't put him on. I can't put that on Gus.
That heart is what's gonna actually bring him that W against a bunch of kids who don't have heart though. That's the issue.
I hear you, but like he was known as El Diablo at his last school. Like, y'all keep sleeping on that. Yeah, we talk about dodgeball, but to get a notoriety where niggas is calling you the devil at your school. Come on.
Here's the thing: are we assuming that they're all bringing? Are we all bring whatever weapon that they want of their choice, or are we assuming that it's just hands, nothing but hands?
Only Recess and AR no equivalent weapons. If you ain't never upped it in your show, you ain't got it. So he can bring the dodgeball, but he can't go get a Glock.
I mean, they may have implied it though at some point. I mean, F around. I mean, I know they had to imply or at least show like some type of tank or something. So I mean, if you want to get a little crazy, because you know cartoons. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Didn't the King homie have a hockey stick? Yeah, don't bring the old.
True.
That boy had a hockey stick. He bodying somebody with that. Somebody getting smacked. Yeah.
In any case.
All right, we'll move on to the anime segment. They said player 5 to refresh and re-enter the studio. They ain't got you.
I mean, he already died on us. as you can see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see coming back. I will jump to the anime segment. Let's start with the spoiler etiquette conversation. Deuce, you want to give us the high level?
Deuce, can you hear us okay?
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
We
Yeah.
can hear you, P5.
Yeah, tell them niggas stop playing with me over at Riverside.
Deuce,
Well,
you
yeah,
want to
go
start
ahead,
us
Deuce.
off
You want
on
to
the
give us the high
spoiler
level?
etiquette?
what
A spoiler
Spoiler
etiquette.
etiquette.
Oh yeah, so like I think it was last week or this week, like on Twitter, there was a big topic. I don't know how it started, but people were debating about who's responsible for like kind of making sure people aren't spoiled. Is it the person that's ahead in the series, or the person that is behind, like the anime only watchers? And personally, I think it's really on these anime only niggas to do their own protection, protect themselves from getting spoiled. Like you can't expect me as a person that reads that shit to go and not talk about it, right? I mean, that's on you. You better mute that shit. You better mute certain words. You better stay off social media if you're really that worried about it. So that's just my 2 cents. I think either you go read the manga or just deal with it. That's on you.
I would agree, just with the caveat of, I mean, well, in social media, etc. Like it's rare you're gonna like come into a conversation that just starts. You know what I'm saying? Like you're always gonna come into a thread like midway at the bare minimum, right? So to that nature, I completely agree with you, Deuce. Only on the caveat of when that conversation gets started, whoever wants to talk about manga compared to anime, it should be started off still that way. I think, as far as to that person to be like, hey, I want to talk about more or less spoilers. This is a spoiler, and then start with the conversation. As long as that one little caveat's there, then I completely agree with you. But at the same time, I don't think no one should be like the very first thing on social media post be like, I don't know, like a huge manga spoiler. You know what I mean? Like Luffy Gear 5 was able to beat XYZ. I don't know. Can't think of a good example here. But I feel like there should still be a warning at the very start, and then everything else is what it is.
I want to say that I agree with Deuce in that it's on you anime watching niggas, and I want to break it down a little more, right? So in every other fandom, it's the reverse, right? If you a comic book nigga, yo, keep your mouth shut on the movies, right? But then I feel like that the moviegoers are making more of the fandom, and they're kind of creating it. Comic book people, literally, their fandom was about to die on their own. The issue with the anime community is that those of us who've been deep into it, reading manga, we create the spaces and the places for you new niggas to hop into this anime shit. So now y'all bringing y'all culture talking about some, oh, you can't spoil the anime. Nah, bitch, go pirate the new chapter like everybody else, boy. We spoiling over here. And we've been doing that since before you was born, bro. So that's dead. You're welcome to the culture. If you want to be kept abreast and you don't want anything spoiled, get
to
that
reading.
black and white manga and pirate that shit like everybody else.
Shout out to Manga Stream.
Shout out, bro.
Shout out to one manga, the OG.
Yeah, shout out to one manga back in the day. Shout out to YouTube, bro. That's how I first started reading them videos with the little.
That's how I got the episodes. Shout out to
Uh-huh.
Bleach episode 31.
Hey, shout out. Can I get a shout out and a One Piece welcome to all the old pirates that really kept the anime industry rolling, the manga Fox, the One Manga, YouTube Espanol parts, bro. All y'all niggas that helped me pirate these high seas, bro. Shout out to me.
Hey, I'm legit now, but yeah, I was definitely
I'm a legit business
We support the official releases.
Except they don't have that shit like some series still be like you still gotta.
Yeah, no, you have to. Motherfuckers, they pigeonholed you. Like I cannot get access to this without.
You have to get like a
fucking. You gotta jump into that. You gotta get that VPN. Right. Go over to another country.
Yeah. Spoiler etiquette. I do feel like the only onus I put on myself, spoiler alerts. I feel like that is a good thing for the culture. Calling that out, because it does make sense, right? Like even in the anime world, if like an episode just came out, you was a nigga that watched it as soon as it dropped, like, and then you want to talk about it, like, yeah, give a spoiler alert. But I feel like that's about all the onus. This whole like, I cannot have a conversation about a series that I'm already all the way caught up in because your ass just started watching that shit yesterday. Like you got me fucked up. And then like the age thing too, like if that series has been out, like, bro, I'm not giving you spoiler alerts for Naruto. That makes absolutely no sense. Like, what are you talking about? Like, let's be real. Like, you just are late on that shit. That's like you talking about, like, hey, bro, don't spoil it, don't spoil Pulp Fiction for me. Like, bro, at this point, like, niggas have analyzed this movie backwards and forwards. Like, are you
But how do you
serious?
feel about
Like,
that with
come on.
One Piece though? Since like it's old as fuck, but
To me, it's still
ongoing.
ongoing. So like there's a level of like maybe you can have some stuff there, but also I'm not doing it for shit that is been out for years. If that makes sense. Like
I
very
just got
current shit,
a
sure.
quick
But
interjection to kind of tie to that. I had some
yeah.
students just get into One Piece, and then like these motherfuckers was talking about like, oh, don't spoil for me, and I was like, because we were talking about Gear 4.
What part?
I'm like, wait, what? like no, they just
Do you,
started. Like,
do you know Zoro joins the crew?
right? You
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, where are you at? Like, you feel me? Like, there's certain things where it's like, bro,
you at this point, bro, like,
yeah,
you're getting spoiled. It's over with.
Like the anime openings have already spoiled like half the shit for you. Like which parts, if you just started some shit that's that far along, I feel like there's probably like maybe a year or two would be what I give on a spoiler. Like if it's been out for more than a year, like I'm just saying the shit. Yeah.
Like the only like time I really think people should post spoilers are like manga spoilers before the chapter actually comes out. When they have those like blurry ass pictures and shit like that. Yeah. I think in that case, like you should post a spoiler because you cannot find it really anywhere. That's just like some random niggas online finding some kind of scans of the chapter. But like if you can actually go and read that shit, bro, like I'm sorry, you gotta deal with it.
And that's the thing. It's just like the answers are already there in the future, but you like want this weird like hold off of shit. Like the manga is literally years ahead of the shit. Yeah. Years. I don't know.
Some anime are just straight up better as manga. I mean, some manga are better as anime. You know what I'm saying? Like My Hero Academia, bro.
Fair.
Just watch that shit on anime.
Right. No, I get you that.
The thing is, but nobody trying to spoil My Hero manga because that shit is trash.
Yeah, nobody talking about that.
I got one dude. I know one dude that's like he's just dying on this hill. Like, no, the mangaka is the greatest artist. Look at his pen work. Bro, I don't nobody get no fuck about that. Dude.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Good for him.
Yep.
Yeah, my thing is if you're worried about being spoiled, then don't just follow niggas who are putting out spoiler content.
Also
as simple as that. If you don't want to hear stuff that you don't want to hear, put some headphones on. Like what?
Right.
Come on now, you
can't curate your timeline. Like just don't follow people that spoil you.
Yeah, as simple as that. What's wrong with that?
Facts.
That's an old game.
I do think people got to take more onus on where they're going, which is like if you're going to, like, I understand it it all depends on a flat platform too. To me, like there's certain platforms where it's very hard to control for spoilers, and then there's others where like you can control that shit, right? You know what I mean? Like if you're on a Twitter, for example, like is just there, you might start reading it, boom, you're spoiled. That sucks. But there's other places where I'm like, oh, like there's an Instagram, you can see this is a picture of a manga panel. Scroll, nigga. Like, what? Like, if you know you don't read the manga, like, scroll. Like, yeah, I get some of these things. You might read for some, might not. But I think there's ways where you can just put some onus on yourself besides this whole, like, damn, let me just point the finger because I'm years behind in a series and I feel like the whole world needs to pause. Like, it feels very entitled to me to ask the entire world to pause on talking about something because you chose not to watch it or catch up with it when everyone else did.
I
Better
think
go
like,
hop your ass
niggas
into
that
a
do,
hyperbolic time
like,
chamber.
Facts.
niggas that do like the thumbprints though, like the catch 'em like thumbnails
Mhm.
that spoil shit off the thumbnail. Them niggas are assholes. I ain't gonna lie. That's fucked up. Cause like, bro, I can't do shit. Like, there's no retaliation. It's like, bam, spoiled, nigga. Everybody did. Like, you're like, what
He
the
did.
fuck?
Now, what we don't hear enough complaining about is when the actual openings for the shows be spoiling the mess out of the anime. Niggas don't want to talk about that one though. They want to blame.
I skipped them.
Yeah, but you
I
can
think
also
that's
say
part of
you
the
can skip
reason. Yeah,
intros. I mean,
a lot of people skip them, but to me, and like I can't lie. Like, yes, they do spoil it, but in reality, have I ever watched an anime opening and felt like what they showed me really spoiled something major?
Yeah, no.
No, like usually it just shows you.
You would have
To
to
me, like
analyze
with
the
team
F out
up
of it.
shows, yeah, like isekais, like literally the opening will give you who's gonna be on the team, more or less. Like if you start on episode 1 and then you watch the opening, you're like, oh, okay, as soon as this nigga comes up, he's probably gonna be on the team.
Yep.
Like that's it. That's all it spoils, and I'm like, that to me isn't that big of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be on the team?
I agree with Gramps. Like, I feel like you could analyze the intro to at least get a decent amount of theories, and like based on how much XP you have in just anime in general, you could probably like more or less get a general gist of what's gonna happen. But at the same time, you still have to spend the time to do that, right? So it's like, one, you could skip it, or two, just enjoy it as a scene and just like try not to think about it. You know what I mean? But the point is that the choice is still yours.
Right. That's right, Captain Planet.
Moral of the story: read the
That's a
manga.
great way to end it.
Read the manga. Moral of the
Hey,
story.
I converted a few people. I was so happy, man. My wife converted to a manga reader for Black Clover. I told her stop.
Damn,
Oh,
waiting.
shit. That's huge.
Just go ahead, catch up. But the funny part is, as soon as she did that, Black Clover said, "Hey, by the way, we going monthly. We're leaving."
Right?
I said, "God damn!"
they got dropped by Shonen Jump or something, right?
Yeah.
No, he said he can't keep up.
Nah, bro, I think they got dropped, bro.
You think so? I thought this nigga said he could. The message said I couldn't keep up, so I'm going to this other shit.
That's what a
Sound like
motherfucker that
motherfucker.
got fired would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Look,
he
he
not
knew
gonna
that
tell
shit
the
was
truth.
getting. He was trying to stretch that manga for them coins.
Stop.
In
Yo,
that shit, bro.
Black Clover up the. Hey, that movie, the artistry in the movie, I didn't finish it, but if the anime come back hitting like that,
What movie?
I don't know, bro.
The Black
the-
Clover
the-
movie, like
the,
the four
Wizard
Wizard
Kings
Kings
movie?
or something.
Yeah,
Wizard King, Wizard Sword, something like that.
Yeah, I like.
Oh
that.
yeah, I seen that. I seen that. It was decent.
The only issue I had with it is it does that anime movie thing where they introduce some dumbass power that disappears for the movie, and I hate when they say shit like, "Oh, this movie gonna be canon to the show." Then don't do shit like introduce a dumbass power that you gonna make disappear at the end of the movie. We've seen a million Naruto movies. It's played out, bro. Stop.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
Right.
also just anime movie staple, though. It's like,
No,
you know, it's one of those
they
it is what
kept
it is
going
things,
back,
right?
and I never.
So, but in any case, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Because I know Gramps got to leave early. Let's hop to the Baki review. And then we jump to the other topics.
All right. So, as some of you may know, Baki did just they just released. Netflix just released the latest arc for Baki. I guess it's the final arc. Correct me if I'm wrong on that MGZ, but that's the final arc of the whole show itself.
I believe so, unless they've done more stuff after that. But to me, that's where I stopped reading.
I would doubt it. If they did, it would have to be filler, right? I mean, this is the fight literally between like Yujiro and Baki. I mean, like what else
Yeah,
is there?
I think this is where it ends. But you never know, because with the success of the show, maybe some shit started off that I wasn't paying attention to, like side stories or side series. But yeah, to my knowledge, it's the end.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna say I feel like they definitely dragged the mess out of that whole rest of that season, because they were doing so much extra stuff outside of the actual fight itself. Telling them all, yeah, I'm gonna fight my dad, I'm gonna fight my dad, I'm gonna fight my dad, I'm gonna fight my dad. I'm like, okay, nigga, we get it. Throw hands with the man. Then they eventually end up meeting at some points, but then they don't throw hands. I'm like, where we at? Is this happening or is it not? And then they actually end up showing us other fights that end up happening that have nothing to do with these niggas throwing hands with each other. I'm like, I thought this was the father-son arc. What is this?
Yeah.
Like niggas over here joining other martial arts, fighting boxes or whatever. I'm like, yo, get to the main part of get to the main meat, and you eventually get to it in like the last 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm just like, okay, now we're here, and I'm just gonna say that was a lot of weird stuff being thrown in the middle of the fight.
How did you feel about that fight itself? I have to, but how would you feel about the fight and the outcome?
Honestly, I think I was underwhelmed.
Hmm.
I think I was expecting it to actually be bigger than it actually was.
Yep. It was a given.
Especially given the way that they describe these two niggas as whole countries fighting against each other.
Yeah.
But then you have huge crowds of people standing around watching all of it, and not a single person get killed. I'm like, okay, so y'all just over exaggerated these two niggas then, if that's the case. Because if it's supposed to be 2 whole countries fighting each other, then you should have had the whole country cleared out for them to be able to throw hands and be on some Dragon Ball Z type shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what was I gonna say? How I forgot. Go ahead.
But yeah, overall, I feel like I was a little bit disappointed with it. I personally, without giving details, I think I personally had more enjoyment of watching him fight Biscuit than watching him fight his dad.
Really?
Personally,
I was gonna say it was given C Emperor.
yes, yes. I'm like, why him? Why are they showing a whole half of the arc with this nigga?
So random.
Yeah.
So after all
Right?
the hype up, the fight was just garbage.
Yep. From what I remember, it was very like. So let me know if I'm misremembering this, but like beat his father, but not really.
No, nigga.
I wouldn't consider that a dub.
He ain't beat his dad.
Right, but from the anime perspective, like, or the way they framed everything, it's like, well, he did have the fight and he walked away alive. So like, and then he surprised his dad a couple of times.
So here's the thing that annoyed me. So he fought against Pickle.
Right.
Technically, Pickle knocked that nigga out.
Oh,
But some people said that Baki won. I'm like, no, that nigga Baki lost. Same thing. Some niggas said that Baki won. I'm like, no, he got knocked out.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, what? So basically, what you're telling me is what we should have been watching was Yujiro versus Pickle. That's what we should have been watching the whole time instead of this Baki versus these 2 niggas that are stronger than him. That's what I want at the end of the day.
Yeah, I felt like and them rushing to the end to me, because literally the Pickle shit had came out like it was like maybe less than 2 months between the 2 series. I want to feel like, but it came out relatively fast. So I'm like, oh, y'all niggas is just rushing to the finish line. I have a lot of feedback on how they could have improved the show, and y'all should have hired the narrator from Hunter x Hunter. If you wanted, extravagant narration about people's like detailed fighting abilities, I just felt like that narrator they have sounds a little corny. So it's kind of like it doesn't hit the same with how they're trying. They really try to put a lot of weight and hype behind the build up to these fights, and it kind of like falls flat. It's been falling flat, I would say.
I will admit that was one moment that I loved within it, and it was when Baki's girlfriend actually came out of the crowd, and she was like, "Yo, what the heck are y'all doing? Watching this fight is exhausting. Y'all niggas throw hands, and then y'all start talking. Then y'all throw hands and start talking. Throw hands and start talking. Just get it over with." I'm just like, she is literally explaining how we feel watching this show right now.
Low key.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So what would you rate it so far? Maybe you want to do that too.
See, I love the first season, where they were actually showing a bunch of niggas all over the place throwing hands with each other.
Never captured that again.
Plus, I'll also admit that I was a fan of the tournaments where it was basically China versus Japan. I was a fan of that as well. Just because they're showing a lot more variety of random niggas throwing hands. It kind of gave me King and Ashura vibes, right? But basically, everything after that, I feel like it started going down the drain. So overall, those first 2 seasons, I would give them a decent as hell plus. But the rest of it, overall, I'll probably give it a decent trash. So if you put it all together, or if you stop after the tournament arc, you're good. Stop right there, and you'll have enjoyed the ride. Maybe watch the biscuit arc, just so you can watch a black man throw hands. But after that, just stop. So overall, I would say it's a decent, just because the beginning is really bringing that thing back up.
Yeah, I agree with
That's
that.
me.
I think I more or less agree too. I think I may give it a decent plus because honestly, there's just such like wild fighting happening that is practically comedic. And to me, like, I mean, I always like can appreciate some comedy there. So I'll give it like a decent plus overall for that simple fact. But I mean, bro, like some of the moves they do, some of the physical feats they try to do while still being like quote unquote human is like you gotta laugh. Like there's just like no way. Nah, bro, I was dead when Buddy did the what did he end up calling it? The cockroach dash. Bro, what? And like the logic behind it, I was like, are you joking?
Yep.
Like, my man's literally used his eye sockets. Like I was like, no, I can't. Like, come on, my God.
No, what about when a nigga turned it when Baki turned into a dinosaur? And everybody actually saw a dinosaur.
Yep, and not just a dinosaur.
The power, of
so
imagination.
Now we're Power Rangers. Okay,
that's really it. It's just a power of imagination. That's how they be running shit. But
it was crazy.
All right. Speaking tangent into the next topic, which is big and let down in anime. This came from the inspiration of this is the current Jujutsu Kaisen manga right now. A lot of fraud allegations are being thrown out, so it spawned me to talk about this in the world of anime and manga in general. I will just toss this out because we are already on the Baki thread, but he cannot be not spoken in this. Muhammad Ali Jr.
Oh my gosh,
that nigga is one of the frauds. One of the biggest frauds in anime for sure. This dude literally was going through the first entered the series Jaw and Yujiro. Let's not forget. He's talking shit to Yujiro, and I think he attempted to punch him at top. This is the strongest character in the series, and even Yujiro was like, "Oh yeah, okay, he got some shit." After that, he proceeds to just get his butt. No, I think he had a win in the tournament too, or something. He did a couple of little things that were still like, okay, maybe he's gonna beat a fight for Baki. He does that, then proceeds to get his ass whooped by all the people he beat previously.
Right.
Then goes and fights his butt whooped by Baki in what, one punch?
Instant.
Yeah, no, he's one of the biggest frauds in anime to me, bro. If I saw that dude in real life, I couldn't look that man in the eye. He should be ashamed of himself.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was just talking about Baki earlier, I honestly removed all of that from my memory. I completely forgot about the trash of that man.
Yeah,
yes.
And I'm adding the Sea Emperor in there because I've just never seen somebody try to like reason their way out of the L he took in the way that he did, which is like I didn't die, so I won. And I was like, no, bro, you you lost.
A leg.
Like you lost. Like what the hell? So yeah, that's another fraud. But yeah, those are my two, and I'll probably come up with some more as people are talking.
Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this one just because of what our expectations were, and because the nigga was hyping himself up at the moment that we saw him. That nigga Lock Rock, bro. Character in My Hero Academia. I was so disappointed, still disappointed to this day, and it's been years.
Literally.
I feel like there might be only one bigger fraud in My Hero than this nigga Lock Rock. And y'all know who I'm gonna say. Fuck nigga of the year, Endeavor. Trash, man. He got on stage, beat that no move, put his hands up like he All Might, told the whole world, "You safe, bro. I'm the new All Might. I'm better than that." Boy, the world went to shit in 2 months.
Damn, he didn't come back. He didn't earn it. No, where
And
he at?
then, only news we got from that nigga is like, damn, bro, the world going crazy. What Endeavor gonna do? What Endeavor been out here beating his kids? Like, that's only
Damn.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. What a failure.
Damn.
I mean, I guess since I'm talking Grams, did you have anybody else you want to say?
From no, not from My Hero. No, I'm still thinking about others.
Okay. I mean, well, I stay hating, so shit. I keep them on me. Let me start out with one of the biggest disappointments of my anime career, which was Burn the Witch. And for long-time viewers, bro, you've already heard my rant, so I'm gonna try and make it concise. My childhood was stolen from me by Bleach. I had promised myself like a bad relationship I'd never get back into bed with this nigga Kubo again. I was wrong. Burn the Witch came out 3 episodes deep. I'm like, this it, y'all. This the new one. It's lit. And then MGG was like, what you mean? It's only 3 episodes. When the 4th one come out, nah, that's it. And bro, such a disappointment. Why would you do that? Why would you make that? Stay at home. But I'm gonna get off that. You feel me? Rise of the Shield Hero season 2. I think that was one of the more recent letdowns in anime history. Like, damn, such a fall off. From one of the goats to like, why did they make this?
Literally filler.
Rock Lee, bum ass. Don't even know.
Oh, wait, what?
Wow.
But I'm surprised you didn't say the other one from My Hero Academia.
He was my choice too, for sure.
I'm surprised you didn't say the other one from My Hero.
Who else from My Hero?
The Rock Lee of My Hero.
Yeah, I ain't been watching that bullshit in so long.
Oh, Red Riot?
You forgot? Yeah, that guy. I thought
he didn't get as much hype
on the list.
though.
Huh?
He didn't get as much hype as Rock. Rock Lee got hella hype, bro, and it didn't do shit at all. So
Red Riot kind of my guy. I kind of like him though, bro. So I ain't gonna even do him dirty like that.
Not too much on Red Riot.
Yeah, he decent.
Honorable mention.
But in Black
Clover, I mean, here's the thing about Rock Lee.
I forgot about Black Clover. My bad. Go ahead.
On Black Clover. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Grams, bro. Almost every villain in Black Clover, what a letdown. And in the Black Clover Power Rangers, like all the side niggas is not the main Black Bulls. The Black Bull Power Rangers, bro. Them niggas. They disappointed recently. They came up. They come in waves, bro. We're like,
how can you say that and miss the biggest fraud of them all, bro?
Not Seke.
Jack. Jack is a fraud. Jack is top tier fraud.
Hey,
top tier.
Hey, stand up on that one. Stand up on that one, dude.
That nigga is a fraud for sure. Hey,
Crown on that boy Jack. Jack has to be the big fraud in Black Clover, bro. Dante close second, but to me, Jack.
I was gonna mention Dante.
He never came up. He never came up.
He was talking all that shit.
I'm a rival. I'm a rival to Yami.
Bro,
Yami.
He said he was Yami rival. Like, it was sad, bro. He went all sad.
The fact that he been calling himself Yami rival all this time and to see how unclose he was makes it sad now. I'm like, bro, I feel bad for you, bro. That'd be like me going like, oh, Michael Jordan rival. Did he know me? Right. Michael Jordan know me. Like, who? I can't even help, bro. Like, come on, man.
Biggest. One of the biggest.
Yep.
I mean, if y'all bringing up Naruto, though, I mean, I low-key got to talk about Shino a little bit. It's sad. But, like, the start? No, I mean, like, not the start.
We talking about letdowns. As a letdown. Okay, no. I was like, no, Shino got it on him to this day.
You gotta hear me. I mean, like, first off, I mean, like, honestly, I would argue even, like, the last bit of Naruto, but 100% Boruto, considering how dirty they did my man. And they didn't put my man on the Anbu Black Ops, or not even the lead. I would say he could be the leader of the Anbu. And they made this mother effer, like, the actual class teacher of ninja school?
Yeah, wild. What a
Like
letdown.
literally, like one of
Wow.
like could be debatably, arguably one of like the best true ninjas, aka assassins out there. Where all Buddy
Yeah.
needs is like a bug and you're dead. Like what?
Nah,
It
if
truly-
we're talking
Especially like the
if
hype
we're
and build up.
if we're
Especially
talking
poisonous
Naruto
bugs.
frauds, yeah.
I mean,
If
we're
we're-
talking about. Well, I mean, like fraud. It's more of like I guess more of a disappointment than necessarily.
No, I
fraud
got
per
you
se.
on the letdown.
But-
I'm just saying from the fraud standpoint on Naruto, yo, a lot of them niggas that came back from the dead, they are a lot of them are on that list. That dude that gave the sign name, I was highly
Oh,
disappointed.
Salamander.
They was
Oh.
hyping Salamander up,
Hanzo,
bro.
yep.
Trash. He thought the Kinjaku and Jinjaku, whatever the dude was, the little Sage twins. I'm
Bro.
putting them up there too. They was
The
frauds. And the
current
Mist
generation of Kages was really fraudulent, bro.
I was
'Cause them
waiting on
old
this
heads
one.
Came back and was like, "Y'all niggas soft."
I was waiting on that part.
Yeah.
Oh, which generation? Generation you said?
What you say?
Which generation?
The at the end of Naruto, the current
The final
generation,
war.
Oh, the
Naruto,
final Kage.
like they was really fraudulent because them old heads came back and was like, "Bro, y'all niggas doo doo," and started.
That's what I was waiting on somebody to bring up right there.
I would argue from that though, because he was the only one that was still young. The other ones
They
that been
all
around,
they
ran
all
the
got
block
jumped by
for a
one
while.
nigga.
This
They
nigga
all
was-
got jumped by one guy.
It was
But
him though.
let's-
That one was him, bro. He was like the
Yeah, like wait a minute.
like,
It was getting bodied by
But the original, but Hashirama would have ran them ones with him though, right?
Hashirama.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That really goes to show how far those niggas came from the original Kages. So yes, because if you're supposed to have the title of the Kage, you're supposed to be at this top tier level. But their top tier was now all the way down here. So you're fraudulent.
that's like saying like
I still
that's two Kages out of all the probably dozens of Kages, bro. The only two niggas was like that. Two of them in Naruto, of course. But
That's what I'm saying.
outside of
If
that,
you look at all of the Kages besides maybe the Mist Kage and Gaara, all of those other Kages was around in like old. They experienced at least 2 to 3 Kages. So to me, I definitely slapped the fraudulent on there. Gaara still had time. I would say Gaara had time to peak. He still had a little cushion. So if they were saying he was behind, I feel like they could say like, okay, you have the potential to get to your prime. Them other 3 Kages were prime or prime past. They were.
oh, you mean
past they prime.
Tsunade and
Yeah,
like,
Tsunade, Raikage, and the old dude who literally seen the first. So
Back pain. The old nigga with the back pain.
yeah, like they for sure were frauds. Like if they come
oh
in
no, that
was like, yo, y'all weak, like still, that's yeah.
well, that old Kage, he was the only reason they didn't die from Madara immediately when he dropped that meteor drop off and he like start doing that. What's it called? That like the little vacuum shit he do. He was,
But that's all he could do. He experienced Madara, and with all them years of training, all he could do was block a meteor. That's it.
bro. That's
That was
Madara.
the best he could do. That's fraud.
still-
Madara, bro. What are y'all saying?
It's niggas that can compare it to my.
But he's saying that if you've experienced Madara, you should have easily been training niggas on how to deal with somebody like Madara.
No,
But instead, niggas just kept getting softer and softer every generation.
Facts. And other Kage said he was soft though. I don't think it was just Madara that said he was soft.
Nah, bro, y'all tweaking.
The mist niggas said they soft. The other disintegration niggas said they soft, bro. Them niggas soft.
I think Tsunade
I
was
still wouldn't
soft.
call
No.
them as Kage frauds though. I still think that's like I think that's still technically a stretch.
Okay,
You know?
this is what I'm gonna say.
Do we feel
If
feel
we go in the
that
hierarchy?
Okay.
If we go in the hierarchy, we can compare Leaf, right? You would. I think you can make the argument Tsunade is the weakest Kage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other ones I don't have as much history, but we know enough about some of the older Kages, and I think you could still make an argument longer than his dad. So that's why I'm also like you can
Exactly.
save Gaara
Yep.
from that shit. But
sure.
the Raikage probably not being that third
Nah.
one. And then Miss Kage, we don't know too much about that, but definitely the Cloud nigga, like he's getting bodied by his predecessors for sure.
No, but we don't know shit about the first Raikage, for example. We don't know shit about him. Like,
Right.
you know, like I think y'all looking at these anomalies, like Hashirama and Madara, they was different, bro. They just was different breed of niggas.
I agree.
Okay.
Like, there's no way you could just call that the standard that everyone.
Like every generation got some trash ass niggas. Every generation, I'm sure, got trash ass.
It's crazy that them trash ass niggas end up being Kages though. That's the wild part.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, the third Hokage, trash. Like he's trash. He's the third. He's the second weakest Hokage.
He the hardest nigga in the streets.
Streets,
we know he's trolling. We know he's trolling though.
I'm really.
So you think against? Why do you think he's beating? Why do you think he's losing to the second Hokage?
Because the second Hokage created all that shit that niggas was using to like fight the entire.
Hokage got caught by regular niggas, bro.
Jiraiya created Rasengan. Fourth still body, you know.
What? Jiraiya did not create Rasengan. No,
I
he
thought
didn't.
the fourth created.
The fourth created that, boy.
Oh my bad. But
The
either
fourth
way,
Hokage not boxing with the third Hokage, bro. Come on.
Who?
The only reason the fourth Hokage got his job is because Orochimaru was crazy. Come on, bro.
No,
niggas out here. This how I know
I'll tell you.
Jobs off technicalities.
They just put a one shot out like a couple weeks ago about the fourth Hokage.
Bijudama.
Nigga was fighting. He was fighting Tail Beast by himself. Nah, bro, you tweaking.
I hear you, but I think third over second. That's my only argument.
You gotta give the second over the third because the second is the first brother, bro. Just off that strength.
Bro,
like I gotta give it to him.
That's a lot.
Hashirama. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the third is like one of the most bosses, but I mean, first off, he can use all elements. Let's not forget.
Bro, I don't care about that. That shit ain't don't matter.
That's actually a big.
But you care about the fact that this nigga. Like that's crazy. Like that's an actual feat. Like he got to. Well, that's the first brother. Like nigga, Shinx.
He created the bringing the niggas back to life. He created the flash step shit. He created all that shit.
Almost every Hokage has got clapped in battle. Even Naruto, the Holy One himself, clapped in battle. You know who retired? The third Hokage, nigga, he was in every war that them other niggas was in, but ain't nobody kill him because he bout that. He like that.
Nah, bro, because he was a pussy. That's what they said. He went on the front lines. That's what they lied. He wasn't out there fighting for real. He was sending them kids to fight for him, bro.
We slander it now.
Nah,
you're calling the third a fraud here, or is that what we're going? Are we going to that?
No, he's not a fraud. I'm just saying, like he wasn't really that nigga for real.
That's calling him a fraud, bro.
He's still better than Sonata, for example.
Nigga, that's crazy. All right, bro.
He is better than Sonata. He better than Shikamaru. That's it.
He's better than Shikamaru.
Shikamaru's a natural Hokage.
Yeah.
Well, we take a hiatus. Motherfuckers come back calling third Hokage.
I'm telling drunk.
What's up, bro?
Hands, that nigga, he get dropped by every other Hokage.
You see, he the only one made it to old age, right? But it's cool. It's other fraudulent niggas out there. Tony Chopper.
What is Chopper a fraud at, bro? What are you talking about?
He's not a fraud. He a letdown, bro. Because everybody in the One Piece Pirates like has a come up, does something where you put some respect. Like I thought Chopper being he was like the fifth nigga on the crew. I thought he was gonna be relevant, bro. Is he even in the chapters? Do they waste time drawing this nigga anymore?
He turned into.
Bro, where did this Tony Chopper
monster
from?
Chopper?
Like, Chopper does his job perfectly. He's there to sell toys.
Yep,
that's what that nigga is for.
And he's the doctor. That nigga healed Zoro. That was his job. He healed Zoro so that nigga can go back there and fight King.
Shit, if we're tossing One Piece out there, you already know Green Bull is up there as a. And then I would almost argue Sanji's a fraud, but I'll leave it alone.
For the longest time, I would agree.
I could take the Ace argument. I could take the Ace fraud.
I can run with that. I
kind of violated, bro.
But that was just like
all right, Joe, I gotta go.
All right, peace.
All right, peace out, brother.
Fraud, bro. You speaking? Blackbeard is not a fraud.
Wow.
Yeah. Blackbeard not a fraud. He got 2 devil fruit. Off that, he can't be a fraud.
I'll give you that.
He can't be a fraud, bro.
I'm not. Oh,
He
pause. I thought
he
y'all were saying
violated
Ace
everybody's
was a
favorite
fraud.
character.
Oh, we were
My
talking
bad,
about
brother.
Ace. Yeah, we were talking about Ace. I don't know where Blackbeard
Okay.
came from, but
Right.
yeah, Ace.
Oh, I thought
Honestly,
somebody
I
said
agree.
Blackbeard.
Oh
Oh,
no,
no,
Ace
no,
is
no.
a fraud. I agree with that.
I disagree with that, and I'm like,
Hmm.
why are you saying Ace is a fraud?
I mean, compared to
He
the
got
people on his
violated by a
level,
bum ass nigga.
yeah. I mean,
But he got beat. He got beat by Blackbeard.
my
Like,
thing,
what?
why I say Ace is a fraud is all of the concepts that we've been revealed to make people on their whatever level, all this stuff. We got pretty mute points from Ace on that, and arguably he was supposed to be up there. That's
I
all
I
I'm
would.
saying.
My only defense for him would be that, like, that shit was before Oda probably even thought of all that. So,
Thank you.
like, I
I
can't.
give him that, but we can't prove that.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm not gonna fight against. I'm not gonna fight against you calling Ace a fraud. I'm cool with that. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
It's
feel like
like-
based on Ace's feats before the Marineford arc war, I think based off that alone, he's not considered a fraud. Only because
See, that-
everything else is based on speculation. As far
I
as
disagree because
power
the
scales.
difference there is he has no feats. Like before Garb fought, we know that Garb was fighting the Pirate King, right? So that alone put Garb up there, even though we didn't see shit. But who has Ace fought that we know?
I mean, using that same logic,
Jim
though,
Bay,
you
that's
could.
it.
I mean, using that same logic, you could just say based on Whitebeard's crew, based on like what division captain he was, and he was.
I don't think them
behind
niggas kind of weak too.
So-
them niggas kind of trash. They ass.
Damn, that's
Hey,
cold.
don't sleep on
'Cause
Diamond.
I disagree on that.
Chopper in the
I mean-
Straw Hat crew, and he trash. So like, you could be
Yeah.
a part of a cold.
You got chill.
Yeah, they like
But no, I mean, if we're talking about first three commanders, who is that? That's Marco, that's Ace,
Yes.
and that's Jozu. All three of them doing mad work. I mean, Marco's still doing work again because he's alive and he hasn't fought Blackbeard. But I mean, other than that, I mean, based on what we saw with Ace, even like
hey, they tried to fight Blackbeard and got work. Them
But-
he packed them up.
I get what you're saying, but we could also make this exact same argument with that exact same information you have. Is that Ace was a what do you call it? A nepotism baby, because his daddy would go Roger. You know what I'm saying? And then
Nepo
after
baby.
that, he really just the Takamichi of their crew, the bum ass nigga with hella heart. who know people, so he is.
That low key, hey, I
And there's nothing to say otherwise.
I will say that you spin. I think
Wait,
you gotta-
wait, pause. I'm just saying that's a little
Spin, bro.
odd coming from you, though, P5, because I know how much big fan you are of Takamichi. So are you
Because that
saying
nigga got heart.
Ace
I
is-
know he's soft though. He built like pudding, but that nigga
Wait, so
got
pause.
heart.
So
His
is
heart different.
Takamichi a fraud?
He not no fraud. He a real nigga. What?
Then I mean, based on that logic.
No, but the
comparison,
difference
I mean,
between him
I'm
and
getting
Taka-
confused.
Takamichi would never had clout. Like Ace had clout.
And
That's the
Takamichi
difference.
know he ain't got no hands. Like he ain't gonna sit here and say he got
nobody
hands.
was ever disillusioned by Takamichi's ability.
Right?
Yeah.
And
We
most
all knew
importantly,
what he could do.
Takamichi got actual feats. Like he took niggas down. You feel me? Like he in every fight losing, he there. My nigga got a hole in his chest. He got violated, bro. Like from the back, nigga.
he did.
He
get
actually
hurt.
got his
I
back
feel like
blew
that's
out,
another
bro.
cold
What-
blood. I mean, like, we're literally comparing versus Blackbeard and also versus Akainu now. Like, did y'all think that Ace was really gonna give hands to Akainu? Like, period. Like, even before seeing it. Like, if you had to think, like, before, I mean, I know it's gonna be hard to do, but like, get in the mindset a little bit, like knowing, like, Akainu, like, we didn't know much about Akainu at that time, but we knew Aokiji and we knew Kizaru at that time. So now we have Akainu of the exact same level going up
Yeah.
against Ace and how we thought about Ace. Did we really think that based on like the higher ups in Whitebeard's crew was going to give enough hands to at least go toe to toe?
I didn't think he was
What
gonna
the
get a
hell?
hole through him immediately.
Yeah, not he know he
That's
was
it.
gonna die.
He didn't even give him hands. He just got a hole through him immediately. There was no fight. Nothing.
Bag shots.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, what's crazy is there's images out there of that. Like the niggas on the One Piece forum. Oh yeah, they don't play. Like they have like images of that scene, but instead of a fist,
I'm showing you that shit on the like,
yeah, instead of a fist, it's something else. It's a phallus.
your algorithm going crazy.
The him Kanu.
That's so dirty. Oh.
Yeah, but no, up there in the fraud conversation. Shanks was close, but then he showed us that he had some. Because I think Shanks was getting there. Green Bull, like I said, up there. I can't lie, niggas is calling Kaido that too. They putting his name out fraud allegations.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Can't do that.
Oh, come on, bro.
Can't do that.
I mean, strongest creature. There was a lot of hype behind him. Will we say that we
But
felt
I mean,
he
think
lived
about the
up
whole
to
stretch.
it?
Yeah,
And
I mean, I would say so.
I think
I
that
think so.
first fight against Luffy and like the first entrance into Wano, I would give it. The end, it's hard. It's hard
I
for
think
me to
that's more so
still
because of Gear
feel
5
that.
Luffy, bro. I mean, he started
I
doing
would-
like reality bending kind of shit.
I
So
would
it's
say
like-
I still think Kaido's stronger than Luffy. Like, so
Mm.
that ain't shit to me.
Okay.
If they fight fresh, I think Kaido will rock him again. Sure.
Damn.
I don't know about
Not like-
that.
not
Now,
like-
you
not
say
like
you say
easily,
like
right?
both fresh and like starting with Gear 5 Luffy too?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I mean, I think he would beat him, then beat him again, and Luffy would win the third time, as he always does. So like, but first shot, nah, he gonna lose.
Okay.
You see how scared he was when Kizaru pulled up. So you know Kaido gonna steal.
I mean,
Like, that's gonna be crazy if
I got
Kizaru
some
get
thoughts
fraud.
on that. Yeah, I
No,
don't know.
Kizaru
I
no
got,
fraud. Kizaru no.
But yeah, I mean, either way, we're on the One Piece topic, so we can tangent into the Gear 5 discussion. Since we already.
I don't got much to say about it. I mean, I'm not like a.
I mean, did we
I don't
all see like
understand.
the actual like anime clips as far as
I
like how
didn't
they
see-
actually showed it?
P5.
I mean, I
didn't see it.
watched the episode, yeah, but it was like I wasn't like super hyped for it. Obviously, I knew what was going to happen, but I feel the same way I did in the manga. Like, I'm not a big fan of the goofy shit, like the eyes popping out. Then, everything else is cool. Just the eyes popping out kind of bothers me. I don't even know why. That's what pisses me off every time.
Very specific.
Because people were trying to compare its epicness to like Goku's Super Saiyan transformation, which I feel like is like at the mountaintop of like epic anime transformation moments. Like, how do y'all feel about it? As One Piece people who watched it from beginning to where it is now, was it worth it? Was it everything you thought it would be?
No, like I don't think there's any way like this nigga's fifth transformation is gonna be the most like iconic. It's like cool, but I still feel stronger about when he went to Gear Second the first time, like against like Rob Lucci. That was cleaner than the Kaido shit. Like it's just,
I agree.
it's like I don't know. Nigga had 5 transformations, bro. Like this ain't no new thing for him. Like he been transforming. I assume he might get a 6 for all I know.
I mean,
but
his defense, I really like Gear 4. Like Gear 5, if you compare all the gear reveals as far as to like its epicness, I would pretty much put in order like Gear 2, Gear 4, probably Gear 3, then maybe Gear 5.
Gear 4 is last for me. I hated Gear 4.
I liked Gear 4. I'm not gonna lie.
Gear 4 was Kong. Yeah.
It just kind of looked silly to me. I didn't like how it looked.
Oh, really? I kind of like the design.
I like how Gear 5
like
looks,
the
actually.
hockey coloring and just like the limbs. I kind of like that.
I would say Gear 2, and then I didn't care about any of these because the Blue Note fight was just amazing to me.
I like Snake Man. Snake Man hard.
Wow. I just was never a fan of Gear 4. I didn't like the look. I didn't like. I thought like the Kong gun was semi-interesting, but like still not enough for me to put. Gear 3 to me was like almost a fraud setup. I would argue like it was really like hyped, and then you saw it was like really this is what the shit was.
It's not even
right. It never like it always missed. Like it never really did anything. I feel like I don't know, but yeah, Gear 2 I think we all agree was definitely the cleanest. Its cleanest transformation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That shit was clean.
I would give that over Gear 5 any day to me. I didn't watch it in the anime, but I'm going off my manga. Personally, as a reveal, it was, like just not. So the thing that I think One Piece suffers from, that Dragon Ball also suffered from, but didn't hurt it as much, is there's a strong theory crafting community around power-ups. So to me, and especially with the tie to One Piece and lore, there's a lot of ideas about Luffy's power development, and even some designs that were thrown out there about where it could go. So 5 was just unexpected. As far as where I could have thought it was gonna go, and then it didn't look as. I'm seeing niggas talking about, well, he's gonna turn into like Sung Wukong. You know what I'm saying? The whole monkey theme and gods and stuff. I'm thinking a nigga with a staff, like something more solid and like, I guess power based. But you know, Oda stuck true to his guns and went goofy with it. So yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I would say like when he fought like Rob Lucci, it wasn't. It still had some goofiness, but it wasn't as goofy as the Kaido shit. So I'm hoping that it's not like, since that was the first time, that's why it was super goofy, like Looney Toony shit. But overall, it's fine. I think anyone saying it's more like it's better or like more iconic than like Dragon Ball Z, like the first Super Saiyan. Hell no. When you see that nigga Krillin got killed and then Goku like first transformed, that was different. Like I don't think any transformation in One Piece will ever like.
But to me, no. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I if you go back about it, as far as impact is like, if I go back to that scene later, will I feel something? Right? Like when I go back to certain, I'm like, oh shit, I remember how cold this was. You get that nostalgia feeling. I'm assuming that's the same feeling people have when they go back to that Super Saiyan transformation. Because like I didn't follow Dragon Ball Z the way everyone else did. I followed it through the games. So I don't have that same connection to that scene everyone else does. But back to the Gear 5 transformation, it's not going to do anything for me. But if I go back to that Gear 2 first transformation, I'm going to be like, oh shit, I remember what I in this moment. It's going to feel something for me. So that's why I would say, like, I would not say it was better than the Goku nostalgia thing. I don't, maybe for some people it's going to be an iconic moment. Personally, it's when One Piece is all said and done and I go back to moments, one of the, I wouldn't say it ends up in my top 10 moments. It doesn't. But if the Super Saiyan transformation is obviously one of the top 10 moments to me. What else would I say? Like, probably Gohan, Teen Gohan, and Cell. That's another like top 10 nostalgic moment. But this Gear 5 thing is probably maybe in my top 20, but definitely not in my top 10. Like Cloud and dropping down on niggas, like I've seen right there, that beats Gear 5 transformation to me any day. Like I could just come up with a whole bunch more, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know. Long story short, the anime more or less reinforced what I was already feeling when we got revealed of Gear 5 in the manga. That's pretty much the best way to say it. So to that nature, I guess I will give big ups to the anime of more or less like representing / expressing what everyone saw and felt who also did read the manga. So in that nature, I'll definitely give it big ups, I guess, just from comparison, right? But I didn't see anything new based on the clips I saw that was just like, oh, this is more doper than what I thought. This is more different than what I thought, more impressive than what I thought. I mean, it's not. It's pretty much just like, yep, that's pretty much it. Like, you know, and it's, I don't know. I feel like this is more me, and I don't want to stretch it too far, but I felt like one of the biggest, one like the coolest factors when it comes to transformations, right? It's pretty much a show of either one, new feats, or two, kind of like feats that make other feats that we've seen by either the villain or like other allies or whatever look less significant or impactful. And like that like difference of like gap of ability, that's what just like, oh man, that's like so dope, that's so sick. But it didn't really have that feel to Gear 5 because of, I guess, like the super expression of them, of like Luffy like doing it. I don't know. It's just like, long story short, it's pretty much the whole Looney Tunes feel of it took away from like the coolness of it. It was like, it was funny more so than it was like dope, you know? And it's like that's kind of took away from like the whole aspect and like everything coming from Gear 5 in and of itself. So it was just like it was tough to really take it serious. It's pretty much the best way to say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss two comments in from the Twitch chat that are relevant. I was low key, this from Ant Man, both of them. I was low key more hype when I saw G4 Snake Man than G5. Uh, I can't go with you on that because I'm Snake.
I would agree with you.
But Player 5 might, and then the other one was. Oh, go ahead.
No, I would agree with the Snake Man thing because I think Snake Man first came when he was fighting Katakuri. I do think that was super clean. Like when he first popped up with that.
Yeah, and then for me, is Ichigo's Bankai transformation was top tier, and I agree.
Forgot about.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
If you put that on like Bankai level, like this Gear 5 is the last transformation we see from Luffy. If you compare that to Ichigo Bankai transformation, yeah, I would say the Bankai.
Honestly, a lot of the
blew it out the water, bro. That was.
I mean, back in the day when you heard the word Bankai, it was already
it was over with.
Like you know what I mean? Like the whole
one of the perfect ways to end an
one
episode.
Word, just from hearing the word Bankai, like they would end
episodes
on that. Like
you got a video about that.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy.
He was at the edge of your seat.
Like exactly. Like it was like no matter who said it too,
because everybody else it set the president. Like everybody else was. It's like, what's Ichigo's gonna be? What's Ichigo's gonna be? And he popped that bitch, and there was a little sword
with a tiny ass sword.
Yep.
Speed clones. I was like, okay.
and then he immediately go to Speed Blitz. What's his name?
Byakuya.
Man, I was like,
bro, that was
shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh man, I just could have killed you twice. My man's did it again." I was like, "Are you serious? Like, come on now." But yeah. No, that's a good shout out. Bankai in itself is probably better all around, probably than Gear 5 in my opinion.
Overall, yeah, of the big three, One Piece has had. I think when they still had big three comp, they was doing decent transformations. Now I feel like he just chilling. Like, hey, ain't nobody fucking with me. I'm 2,000 chapters deep, and now he putting out that bullshit. Come on, man.
But to me, like shit. I think let's ask this question and then we can switch to the manga. But of the big three, I would say Bleach had the best transformations. Would y'all agree with that or disagree?
Well, wait. First off, let me just for the nature of everyone here, what do we call the big three? Just for the sake of it.
Oh, sorry. One Piece, Naruto, Bleach.
The only like consensus big three.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure. Like we on all the same page. That's all.
I would like to throw.
I think One Piece is at the bottom of my list when it comes to transformations.
If we're only going main characters, then there's a debate here. But if you're saying the whole show, it's not going to be close because Bleach, every main nigga had like a Bankai that was specific to them. Like it's not going to go close. But if we keep it to main characters, I don't know. I have an argument for Naruto. Naruto hit harder with his transformations than Ichigo. Ichigo had one time. And after that, everything was just like, eh.
Are you talking like? So are you talking the wild nine-tailed fox? Consider those transformations? Or are you?
Yeah,
talking
like
complete?
his first time during the Valley of the End, that transformation with the one tail. That hit.
That was hard.
Yeah,
that is probably the strongest one to argue with. But I gotta like Ichigo still got hitters though.
When he did the four-tail against Orochimaru, that went hard. That nigga's skin ripped off his body. His blood
I didn't hit as hard.
It was
to me, I would put the pain. I would put the pain one over that transformation. The pain
that first
was crazy.
I think Naruto transformation's been kind of mid.
I
bro.
mean,
After
honestly,
Sage mode.
Sage mode?
Sage
I
mode,
thought
man.
Sage mode was decent, actually.
No.
Compared to Bleach, though, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's decent.
Well,
but to Ichigo's transformation, Sage mode wasn't hitting like nothing.
See, the difference with Sage mode, Naruto never had like a moment where he pulled out Sage mode and we was like surprised because like he trained for it and we knew he had it. There was no moment where it was like, oh shit, that's some new shit.
But we didn't
like when Ichigo pulled that Bankai out, like we never seen that before, bro. We already seen Dry at Sage mode. We had like he already fought Pain with Sage mode. We kind of knew what Sage mode did already. It was, but like when Ichigo pulled up with that Bankai, that was different. Yeah,
then when he turned into the hollowification on niggas, bro.
Yeah,
like don't forget against who it went crazy.
I got
against Okiura. No, that
they got
was
Bleach was number one.
That was different.
Even when he turned into that demon and he murked Okiura,
yeah,
bro, I got Bleach. Bleach transformations was different for sure.
Yeah,
I think Bleach up there.
Naruto didn't even really have transformations. I
Naruto,
feel.
honestly, I kind of like the out of transformations that Naruto goes. I probably give big ups to the curse mark more than everything else. As far as like all the sound four ninjas,
I would
their
agree that
transformations.
that added a ton of variety. And those would be like the go-to too. The curse
Yeah.
mark transformations were the big ones. Like where I was like,
I'll
oh,
count
okay.
like I'll count like
Choji.
Rock Lee shit as a transformation. You know, like
Okay, fair.
Oh,
Bleach.
yeah.
No, that's
I
fair.
think
That's
as a
fair.
transformation.
Yeah. Against the gates. Yeah.
There too. Choji would be a top tier transformation moment for
Yeah,
me.
when we first saw Buddy
Yeah, it's a
swim
low
up,
key.
that was
Yeah,
great.
One Piece at the bottom, bro. Yeah, I think it's Bleach. For me, it's Bleach, Naruto, then One Piece.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
agree. That's exactly where my list falls right now.
Mhm.
Is top. They wasn't playing at all. And the way it will
Yeah, I
roll
think-
out because they love to hit you with the element surprise on some niggas. When Lukaku
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, wait a minute, got a
Oh, yeah,
Bankai."
his Bankai?
He was like, "Oh, wait a minute, whoa, what?" It wasn't even that like special, but the fact that he had it, you're like,
No, because
"Oh,
at
okay."
that time he thought only captains had it for real, and so he
Right.
figured shit out.
Right.
Yeah, you got a
Yeah,
Bankai?
like right.
Big old
Hey,
That-
even the villains transformations in Bleach used to be decent, bro. Like
all
the
the
Shikai,
old
the
ones,
Shikais was
Espadas.
decent. The Shikais was
yeah.
decent.
And they-
The
Because they
shit was
were
decent.
animated too, like
Yeah.
the on the transformations was
Yeah,
like
dude.
crazy, like
The
big
phrases?
strange shit. Like Grimjaw, like literally scratched his sword to like transform. Like they'd be like tear apart the heavens, boom, like transformation. Like you're like, what the bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Like tear apart the heaven. Like, nah, bro. It was some big shit.
Yeah.
Player 5, you still there? Probably stepped
No, I think
away.
he dropped.
He on mute, so probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the like long story short, like when thinking about it after our talks, I think One Piece kind of gave up transformations just on pure number of characters and cast. Like they just said F it with like actual like transforming who we got. Let's just keep on busting out new people and just overall new feats. And they just said F it with actual transforming in and of itself.
And really, besides like Luffy, like most people don't have like transformations, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess you can count the Zoans, but like that's just the devil fruit. Like they don't have like transformations. Like as
I would argue
pure
Awakenings
ability.
are the closest to that. Where
yeah.
in terms of
And there's only been like
transformations.
3 people who got awakened, you know. So
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's jump on to the manga world. We can kick it off like until Player 5 joins. We can start with One Piece then. So I mean, a lot of big things happen. There's Emu, there's Kizaru, and then there's Mihawk being a
real
frog.
nigga has returned.
Oh, there we go. All right. Do we want to switch to Black Clover then? Let's switch to Black Clover since you joined. I thought it was gonna take a minute. So let's jump to Black Clover then. I know Player 5 wants it to be over, but I will have to put in one, which is one Clover every day. What he was able to pull out in this fight to me was amazing, and I am interested to see what this whole anti-magic power up is going to look like for the other characters. So those are my two thoughts.
So, real quick, I just want to say, like, can anybody explain to me the logic behind the anti-magic power up?
there is no logic, bro.
I feel like
Logic?
it's lost in translation.
I don't know.
I felt like all he did was this nigga said, "Hey, I'm adding anti-magic properties to each of your abilities." That's what I took from it.
How?
That's where it's like.
That's a great question, and the answer to that question is.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to be sure. My thought was like, I was like, man, I'm missing something. Maybe I should go back and reread, but it's just not lit enough for that. So I was like, I'm just gonna see what the bros think. Clearly, no one knows. Okay?
Fine, right? Here's what I would say. Did we get a power associated with Yami's sword?
With Yami's sword? No, we didn't.
I don't think so.
Maybe that. Me, all I've seen is each sword has given an ability to whatever, right? Like the first sword was just the regular anti-magic blocking. Then there was the dual sword that like absorbs and sends, and then there's the remove super curses or whatever sword. So my argument would be to just throw it out there is that that's the ability to sword is the sharing shit
to add magic properties to
other
shit.
people. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
If you're throwing something
I'll
out there.
accept it to make me feel better. But
thing is unique to it's its own thing. Like I don't think it's associated with the sword. So that's why I'm like, well, technically they didn't give that sword an ability. So maybe that's what that shit is.
I mean, to me, I guess the big thing he just learned to use anti-magic better. I guess, right? Like he can put it on other shit, give it to other people. So I assume that overall he just is better at it or has more of it, more control. Like I guess put it like chakra control type stuff. I don't know.
But I'm just like, I don't understand.
I don't think too much about it.
The properties of the anti-magic is pretty much the antithesis of that. Like if it was all about control, then somebody should be able to pick up his sword, right? Like
yeah.
it's not just like,
I mean, I thought him giving anti-magic to magic users was also kind of strange to me. But like, I don't know. It's Black Clover. I don't think too much about it.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I don't.
I was like, this nigga about the cat with anti-magic on her. What the fuck finna happen there, bro? Like, it sounds like they're going to come with new abilities. Yeah, the only thing I don't know is Magna. I don't know what the fuck that shit, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, I will just say about it, honestly, I think they should end it. It's doing the classic shonen thing where they take their last fight and draw it out literally 100 chapters. It's wild. Like this time last year, I thought we were like, okay, maybe by December, Black Clover will be over. But here they are. They're milking every inch of it that they can get. And I'm just like, bruh, like, in this motherfucker, man. Like, we trying.
I mean, are you mildly interested in the like what I call character development fights? Meaning like Morgan I think that's his name, and them fighting Noel's mom. Like I thought those were nice little like character development fights.
I don't like the end villain. Okay, so I'm already wanting the arc to be over. It's their last arc. I know the show over after. I'm like, at this point, bro. And like my thing is like it's the fact that it's been going on for like 100 chapters. Like, bro, come on, bro. He's stretching this shit out. I used to like Black Clover because they didn't do that bullshit. They was like, hey, we here. This the plot. We fighting. Do. We done. Next plot. We here. This the plot. We fighting. I was like, bro, they really respecting you.
So I'll be honest though, I think it's not out of character for them because Ramat, my wife, she watched it from the beginning. So I was like in the background and she was catching up with those episodes. Bro, it took a long time to even get to the lit shit. Was like damn near like 50 to 100 episodes. Then after that, from the lit shit to get even, and they were only like they didn't even finish the Lucifero stuff, but it was another 50 just to get to the beginning of that fight. So I'm just like, bro. I feel like the drawing out is part of the game, just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that could be on me. I'll admit that. I'm just like, I'm done with it. I enjoyed it for what it was, and I don't necessarily like the villain. So I'm just like,
dang, really? Lucius is that? What's the not like? Is it the motivations or power or what?
It's not necessarily the motivation. It's just like I don't really like the power set to bringing old people back. I just feel like I've seen it in Naruto. It's literally like the exact same plot as Naruto, and I'm just like, look, bro, I've already been having to defend Black Clover for niggas that would call it like an unapologetic like shonen trash, and I'm like, no, bro, like they lean into it, and then they're like kind of respectful of you, like we're leaning into it. Now I feel like, nah, you're just copying tropes now. Like if they'd have gave me something interesting, something new, like Lucifero was already a bad villain. And then like you're topping it on me like, all right, we'll give you a decent villain, decent plot twist, but he's about to run back probably one of the most famous plots in anime. Naruto War Arc, baby, we here. And then what does Asuka do? He pulls a Naruto. That nigga pull up and say, here go a Kyuubi cloak. Ooh. Let's fight. Like, bro, what?
Fair.
Nigga, that was like 10
Okay.
years ago. We still remember.
I can't lie. It was tough though. Like when I was with my wife, it was like Naruto. I was watching that shit and I was like, low key, if first like 100 episodes of this shit, he was sued. He was sued. Like, yo, like literally don't not act like Naruto. Like I was like, yo, bro, y'all gotta chill. It
I
was
swear to you, bro,
blatant.
when I watched the show, I'm like, bro, that nigga was like, yo, I like Naruto, but they did my nigga Rock Lee dirty. Nah, that's dead. I'm about to give my
Fixed.
nigga Rock Lee some shine. And he made Black Clover.
Fixed.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I give you that. I don't think there's much here
Yeah.
besides
fair.
that part. Like once again, respect on Yuno as usual for the power ups. I think if anything, this thing is almost their way of giving Asta similar scale. But I had to put a lot of respect on Yuno's name for one getting Wizard King level and technically beating the Wizard King once. Second part to me is the fact that like similar to like Real, he showed that his power is like, or not similar to Real, similar to Gara. He showed me his power not only has like individual feats, but has scale. Like you're actually in a position to protect a country. You get what I'm saying? So that I appreciate it. Like I think oftentimes a lot of that shit is like uh we put a lot of respect on people as leaders based off of their individual feats, but we don't think about the scale that they need to have to country. And I felt like
True.
Gara was one of the first ones to me that showed scale when he fought Deodara, which is like, no, nigga, like I'm not just
protecting my
Kage because they
country.
put my name on it. I actually have the power to protect the country. Like nobody in the Sand Village can protect the Sand Village the way Gara is able to, kind of showcase that with that fight with Julius. So
And you know, so I gotta agree with you. I feel like he was basically listening to the podcast because that was the argument. We was like, bro, you know the Wizard King, because like that Neverland shit. What can Asta do? Sure, you can cancel shit, but like that's say I take that out, but please, save me. You feel me?
Right.
But now he got the devil cloak just so he can be like, hey, look, guys, my power that don't make no sense to do this can do this.
Yeah.
Make me Wizard
I got
King.
scale.
Right.
He is slick. But that's all I got on Black Clover for real.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff been interesting seeing like some of the old heads, but again, I hated that when they did in Naruto. Fuck them old niggas. Give us a spinoff show. Show me new niggas. That's how I feel about it. Like I still ain't seen the nigga with the Earth Spirit, bro. Where the Earth Spirit? That's what I want to know. Where is that?
True.
Facts.
Drop that.
That is a very good point.
Where the dwarves?
One of these revived niggas probably got it now.
Right.
At this point. All right, let's jump to the head ass My Hero Academia.
Man, I'm not
Any
even caught
thoughts?
up, man.
Anybody still watching that shit? I ain't gonna lie. I just
I'm still reading it.
randomly peeped up on it.
At
This
some
nigga
point,
All Might
after we were
pulled
said, I
out
was
the
just gonna-
Iron Man joint, bro. You goofy ass nigga.
Yeah, I read it just cause it pops up, but that's just ass for real, bro. It's just so boring.
How did y'all feel about Uraka and Himiko's to a potential?
I felt nothing.
A lesbian relationship?
I felt nothing, bro. I don't. It was so bad. I didn't even read the words. I really just look through the pictures in My Hero, and then I'm done with the chapter. Like,
tough.
I just don't care enough to read all the dialogue. So I don't even know what happened between them. It looked like some like kind of a little bit of some lesbian shit, a little bit, or like maybe a triangle type shit. But I didn't even care enough to read it.
Deku trying to get him that young
Go crazy, bro.
polygamous
No,
relationship.
if he get that popping, then I might get back into it for real, for real. If he, well, he ain't got that.
He ain't him. Bakugo will do it. Bakugo
Yeah.
cracking all of them.
That's crazy. Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think that the All Might super suit is probably the dumbest shit they could think of. Hear me out. We all wanted All Might to get one last hurrah. I'm like, bro, just had Eerie slap that nigga, be like, yo, I got 10 more minutes as All Might. He suit up, boot up as
That
All
should've
Might for
been
10 more
hard.
minutes. That would have been hard. Everybody would have loved it. Instead, they like, bro, let's get this nigga an Iron Man suit. But bro, you're not thinking. If you can just slap an Iron Man suit on a loose nigga who can't even really walk straight, and he can fight with fucking All For One, why don't we just mass produce these hoes and put them on a buff nigga?
Everybody.
Everybody, every nigga up the street should have one of these and jump this nigga. Like,
Right.
it don't make no sense.
Yeah. No, that's and in addition to that, like, no, I got you. That's actually a better plan. Like, ear him up. To me, it just was like, yo, like it was given like, oh, let's counter the quality thing. You know how they try to like make All Might kind of Batman too. So it was given like Batman versus Bane first time, where he was like, "Oh, I need this bat suit." What to me, the only thing that'll save this is if he get his back broken at the end. That's what I was thinking. Like I was like, if All For One just straight snapped this nigga back,
Damn.
he was done, and then moved on. But as far as like wasting time, that's all it feels like. This is. It's just in the series and
That's
to
an
us as
active
the readers.
goal. It's
No,
like
that's what I
an
mean. Like
active
in
goal.
the series, that's the goal. But to us as readers, it's also like a
Same thing.
waste of time.
Mm.
Like, oh
Gigantic.
yeah, I'm really dragging this shit out. And to me, this might be one of those moments that when it hit the anime, people like, oh, this Iron Man fight with All For One was great. But once again, logistically,
But people been sleep on anime. I ain't heard no buzz on My Hero.
oh,
Period,
somebody
bro.
was hot. I don't know. Deuce ain't tell you. We had a was it BlurCon? That was heated.
Oh,
Heated, bro. Like we was
So
like, yo,
that
that
girl
shit
from New
trash.
York. That
Yeah,
girl from New
she
York
was
was
not
cool as hell.
playing. She was like, why? And she had a
oh,
friend
shit.
that was like, what? Like, just hold our thoughts into this whole, and I'm just like, it's just not good, bro. That's
But
it,
she was
bro.
cosplaying as Deku, so you expected that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Look, bro, look.
But no, they're
if
out
you
there.
Watching, if you out there and you watching, I wasn't able to get to you, and you lucky because that shit ass, nigga. It's not our fault you're watching doo doo, bro. Like, come on now. I could go into at length why this show is no longer good, but I won't. You already know it's not good, and you torture
Right.
yourself by watching it. Keep it up.
That's facts. All right, I think that's all we have of My Hero.
Yep.
One Piece or
Yeah,
Jujutsu
in that shit
Kaisen?
too.
Anybody want?
I agree with that.
About
And that
Frog
shit
Kuna?
expeditiously, nigga.
Do
Wait,
we
say
want to
again,
talk
did
about
you-
Frog Kuna real quick before One Piece?
You can get that slander off.
Wait, Frog Kuna. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, for sure. That nigga's a fraud, bro.
What?
Fraud.
He's
all
a
this
fraud.
hype, talking all that shit.
Yo, spoiler alert. Because I read the recent chat. So, do you want me to move forward, Juggo, or just leave it alone?
You know,
As to
what,
why-
let's just make it happen. No,
Alright.
we can make it poppin'.
At some point, I won't be getting into too many specifics, but one of the bigger things as to why they call him a fraud is Magigor, however you pronounce that name. If we fight, if we think about this fight in the past, let's say Gojo was around when Sukuna was there. I think it's clear because Magigor has literally been the come save me ability. Like this 10 shadows technique has literally been the crux strategy so far. Until maybe he'll show us some other thing that he just want to play around with 10 shadows. But to this point, Magigora has been saving this nigga's ass from a lot of L's. Now at this point in the recent, he's now basically admitted that this fight is now a 3v1 with confidence against Gojo. He said, hey, no, you thought this fight was a 2v1 because now it's like him and Magigora. No, it's a 3v1, and he summoned some other shadow and was like, it's a 3v1. To me, for you to call yourself the greatest sorcerer and to confidently say, I'm going to jump you, you're a fraud. Like, I don't know how. Am I not saying Sukuna is still up there, right? Like, no loose nigga. Sukuna's fade, but Sukuna versus Gojo, I think at this point we've proven that Gojo is better.
Yeah, again, yeah, he is. In his defense, he is the second, probably strongest of all time, right? But
Yeah,
it's just that all that shit he was talking to Gojo is like, bro, come on, like,
crazy.
if
It's
he was still in
crazy.
UG's body, for example, he would have got
Yeah,
dropped.
it was over with. He would have
Yeah.
got dropped a long time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair.
And I would say the beginning of the fight was still close, I think, but like these last couple chapters is evident that it would have been a wrap for him.
I gotta say this. I don't even keep up with it like that, and even I heard about this fraudulent ass nigga. The streets was hot, bro.
Fraud
like, man started the show off talking that shit just to get clapped.
Talking that shit. Like, if Gojo still take the L out of here, we know at this point it was purely unfair. He had to pull everything out.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna really defend his fraud claims other than I hope they're not getting too out of hand, just for the simple fact that one, we are talking about Gojo, and two, literally, what was that? F1? Gojo did say that if me and Sukuna, ran the ones, he was gonna take the dub anyway. You know what I'm saying?
On it, yeah. And to me, standing on it right now, my biggest thing is just like when I say Sukuna's a fraud, I mean strictly with talking shit in the strongest conversation. And right now, it's just him versus Gojo. Anybody else, Sukuna is still standing on. Like, there is still nobody else that could beat Sukuna. After watching this fight, there's no one you could bring up that could. Gojo is going against him. Gojo is literally the only person. All I'm saying is the cockiness this man walked. At this point, bro, there's no real weight he could hold on. Like, he killing me, but I'm the loose nigga in that show that's like, bro, come on, you won on bullshit. If he wins, I'm like, you won on bullshit. If he loses, you can clown him.
Yeah, I guess my thing is like the two things they always been saying that how like this generation of sorcerers is the weakest, right? And then Sukuna was like, the first thing I'm doing when I come back, niggas, I'm gonna kill you to Gojo. And it's like, bro, like again, without the 10 shadows, you would be in the dirt, bro. It's a wrap.
Facts.
So like to me, it's just I don't know. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe that was his plan all. I guess kind of was his plan all along. Maybe he knew he couldn't do it. But yeah, that nigga's a fraud.
I think Gojo has proven he's him. That's for sure. Gojo has proven he is that nigga. Period. And kind of hard to move past this fight where like people are saying he should die. Like if there's any series where I really haven't wanted a character to die, it's this one and it's Gojo. Like, but I also understand that like how do forward?
Yeah, he has to. To
how do they move this forward? I'm not buying it. Like because I don't see how Kenjaku can beat Sukuna at this point. Like we've seen some of the shit, but like I think low key Kenjaku was going to die with old girl if it wasn't for their dumbass plan. But I think old girl might have actually took the dub on her if she didn't listen to what they told her to do. Like if she actually used her domain and like fought how she wanted to fight instead of the plan they were trying to scheme on.
Oh, the density girl?
Yeah,
Yeah, she did beat him. Like he won. He like came back in some kind of like I forget exactly what he did. Forgot what he did, but
yeah,
she did kind of beat him.
Like if you use your domain, bitch, like this really would have worked. But she followed the whole plan from whatever the fuck. Yeah,
even like I think even the shit she did, like the black hole shit, like it.
Yeah.
Again, I think it worked, but he had some kind of Kenjaku like loophole type shit to come back. But yeah, like Gojo has to lose in some way, right? Like for the story to progress. For like at the end of the day, I think Yuji has to probably be the one to fight Sukuna anyway.
Think so?
I think Yuji and Yuta together or something. I don't like because Yuji can't do shit.
Yuji gotta be a part of it because he's EMC, right? So
well, I guess maybe after the fight, like if Sukuna is that weekend where he can't use like domain expansion and all that shit. But yeah, I mean, I think the high school kids,
people keep coming at Kashi. They say he plotting.
Which one is Kashima?
The guy who wanted to fight Sukuna originally with the lightning powers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They say he waited because he just sitting there like he gonna take that opportunity.
I was reading these like the Gojo Sukuna fights before I actually caught up to everything else, and so now I went back and read everything, and now I know who he is. And it's so strange to me that this guy's even watching the fight with like Jujutsu High kids. I'm like, bro, you don't even know these niggas. Y'all all sitting in the same room, chilling, like just watching the fight. I'm like, what is going on?
That's funny as hell, bro.
But yeah, that nigga is definitely he been fiending. Like
he excited. Give us a breakdown in the last chapter or the chapter before that, and this nigga was like, "It don't matter. Both is possible." Like they're like, "Is this possible this way?" He's like, "Could be both, nigga. I don't give a fuck." Lit. I'm like, yo, but no, this has to be like when this gets animated.
Oh, bro,
I'm really gonna appreciate it. I think it's gonna be one of the better fights of the anime world.
I think it's a long ways out, but yeah.
No, I mean it is.
They up there. They already at the Shibuya arc.
Yeah.
Just going crazy
just
on
looking
that.
at Jujutsu Kaisen like right now and seeing like finally able to see the fuck, I can't even think about my homie's name. Motherfucker. Oh, the Zenny with the hand, Toji.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Toji fight. Holy shit! Like that was crazy. Like how they animated that. That was oof. My man is ruthless. That was definitely
the meme of that like older. It's like these two people fighting, but it's like a little kid and the other guy's like squaring up. It's like a guy squaring up against a kid. Like he about to hit this little kid. This meme.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
So they
the girl.
Meme on the Reddit and they put Toji on the adult and Kid Gojo because you know how he pissed off about how he looked.
Yeah.
Flashback. So they said this is why Toji would have pulled up on this. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. The past few months, the anime Reddits have been killing me, bro. They are fucking hilarious. These niggas always got something to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, when that fight gets animated, that's gonna be mad clean. It's like some of the specifics they did, like how the building was falling and they were fighting in that. Nah, like it's gonna look mad decent.
And I appreciate the technicality of the fight is what I would say. I feel like for two basically god tier characters, they still I feel like respected of Jujutsu Kaisen, meaning like these people using techniques to do so, and it didn't feel like big shit versus big shit. Like because usually when two goats fight, it's just like, oh, I got this crazy skill and I got this crazy skill. Kind of fighting within their
they need stress. Like they needed stress.
Consider the boundaries, of Jujutsu Kaisen. I appreciated that.
A lot of those explanations were, I mean, they were starting to get mad wordy. I mean, granted, it was already like Jujutsu Kaisen is like still already known for that, so it's like sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, were y'all following like the actual like lore logic of like that fight? Because that was starting.
Hell no. I'm waiting for the anime to drop. I could not follow it. I was like, bro, even though like some of the things they're bringing up, like reverse curse take,
right?
I still don't fully understand like how that shit works. Like I'm hearing it and I'm just like, huh? And then they were talking about niggas parts of their brains is getting. I was like, where did all this? I'm waiting on the anime for that.
Reverse technique comes from your brain. Regular curse comes from your gut. That's all I remember.
And Sword Homie, he really had the detail. I'm like, Sword Homie reading his books. Because I think that's what Panda he was like an off character, black hair. I think he's a swordsman.
One of the guys watching the fight.
Yeah.
He got all that.
You reading a book? This nigga study.
So I don't even know who he was for real. I was like, nigga, where would you come from?
No,
he was there in the arc. He was the one examining. I forget who. I mean, I think it was the guy that has the mask that run up.
Well,
but he's not a fighter though, right? He one of the barrier niggas.
He's
like he's an A level nigga.
Yeah.
He's or whatever the tech. He's like he's not gold. He's like Nanami's tier, I think.
Who would he fight though?
Famous? I don't know.
I don't know. I think he helped out. Point. And I think Panda
I remember him witnessing. I remember them both witnessing the Sukuna v Magma Buddy fight.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Forgot his name.
So I guess
Yeah,
that,
shout out to Gojo.
oh, facts.
Yeah, Gojo real.
But yeah, we'll jump to One Piece. So a lot of major updates, story wise and admiral wise. Start with the combat stuff. Kizaru versus Luffy. I'm assuming is the fight happen, right? And then how do we think it's playing out? Assuming Luffy's taking the dub, but we think it's high,
Oh, I
low,
don't think they'll
medium.
fight.
Honestly,
don't
don't
think
think
really-
they'll fight either. Yeah, I think they're
Wow.
gonna escape before Kizaru gets there. I think Sentomaru's gonna hold him off long enough, or at least
Yeah.
of that nature.
So you think Sentomaru's
I-
gonna die?
Yeah, that
At
well,
this point,
not
it seems
die.
like he's gonna die. He
Yeah, well,
Crazy.
it's One Piece, so I don't think he's going to die. I think he get captured, right?
Wow.
But I also think that if the most, it'll probably be like a clash, like one of those little clashes between like Luffy and Kizaru. But I don't see them having a fight because
full fight.
I don't think either of them can lose right at this very moment. Obviously, Luffy can't. Like the nigga just become
The Yonko.
Yonko.
I was kind of
he gotta
surprised
give
with
himself that. And Kizaru, he's still like he can't lose either. I feel like it's too early for that. So
Yeah, I was surprised at how loyal Kizaru was. Not saying that I expect him to be an all out trader. Oh, like you're really a dog for these niggas. Like, and him in the Sentomaru conversation of like, yeah, bro, it is what it is. Like, you're tied. Like, I gotta body you. Like, I thought that was interesting, even though it seems like, which I would say realize off the bat, but makes sense.
I
Like
mean,
that
hindsight
Sentomaru is this nigga's like subordinate. Like in the way that Garp trained Kobe and them, or like Aoki, he's his like the admirals
like
take,
mentor or something.
yeah, and then kind of like skirt them through the
process.
Yeah, getting up there.
Yeah.
So
well, I don't know if he was like, I don't know if their relationship was that way, but yeah, they are close. But I wasn't surprised by Kizaru being like that. To me, it's still like he doesn't like he's like, whatever, I'm just doing my job, bro. I don't care. Like it's still the meter of like I just don't care. Like whatever, bro. I'm getting
what
a
was
check.
his justice?
I mean,
was it lazy justice?
Lazy justice, I think. Right?
It was like
no,
lazy.
he don't read the books.
It was lazy monkey, right? I think he's the monkey.
No, I think they all had their own sense of justice. I think Akinu's was like absolute.
Yeah.
Kizaru's was lazy justice, and then I don't remember.
No, I think Aokiji might have been lazy actually.
Oh.
Unclear justice.
I mean, the point is that if you
That's
really
Kizaru's?
do look back to everything,
apparently.
Oh, okay.
If you look back to everything Kizaru did, literally from the jump of when we saw him, I mean, he was more or less used as pretty much the main weapon of royalty, like in all those occasions. If you think about it,
that's fair. No, you're right. You're right on that.
I mean, it just fits. He's the dopest one, probably just because like that's literally what he's there for. He's not there to he's not ambitious. He's not there to really do anything extra. He don't have any type of personal mindset as far as to even just follow through his own morals, ethics, whatever. He's not there for that. He's literally as like the ultimate soldier, and that's also used with like Kuma as far as like instrumenting his abilities there to be like more automatic as far as to like literally as almost like a gun. I mean, if you think about it like that too, so it's like that's what it literally uses him as. So.
And I feel like that's where the curiosity for me is starting to peak because I feel like the world government has split into the nobles and the world government, and it's hard to identify. So, like, I don't consider, when I say world government, I do not consider Sword or Garp as part of the world government, if that makes sense. Like, they are, but I see them as they can easily align with pirates if their interests. But Akainu and what he's doing is still like, I'm not aligning with pirates, but I don't know if I see him as a dog of these niggas. He makes sense. But Kizaru seems like their world nobles were like, fuck it, we're now entering the battle, which is what they're kind of doing. Kizaru is they're going to Akainu as their representative. If they're not heavy hitters themselves, he's their heavy hitter. Aokiji obviously isn't on their side, but even if he was still in the military, I don't think he would be their dog, so to speak. And Akainu seems like his own is because do you feel like Sengoku in a fight like this? It seems like no.
I mean,
Right?
right, and
Doesn't
like
feel like the
evidence there is
fleet
that he
admirals
quit.
are
I
that.
mean, yeah. No, like
Um,
evidence there is because like he quit.
I mean, like I think they all would do the job, in their own way, right? Like Akainu would listen to the orders. He would have done what he needed to do. I feel the same way about Sengoku, and even Aokiji like would have done the same thing. He froze his friend. Um, he froze people, and he didn't want to do it. I mean, so
But my thing
he
is
froze
like,
guard, you know. So
so
I
but
think they still would have done it.
I feel like the access Kizaru has to them is different.
To who?
I don't know how to put it into words. Like I think they
Access
all
to who?
like the world noble niggas, the whatever they call themselves, the
Oh,
Gorosei.
I don't think so. I think all the at least all the old admirals. Let me say that. I don't know, like I don't know the new
So you think
guys, but
Akainu, like I think Akainu gets orders from them, but
yeah, kind of was arguing with them. Kind of been on the phone with them. Like I'm sure,
yeah,
like they all have they're the ones who get called when for a buster call. I'm sure they've talked to like and have some kind of relationship with the girl, say, but I don't know.
I feel like there's a bit of a fracture. Maybe that's what I'll say, and I don't have like the, but I feel like the world government, from a power standpoint, is fracturing a bit. That's
Yeah,
all
I
I'm
mean
saying.
that makes
Like I
sense if
feel
you
like
think
they're
about the whole
starting to
story
form their
too.
own little
Yeah,
groups.
right.
yeah.
There's Sword, who I don't think is gonna align with these niggas at all. There's like Akainu, see him like he's aligned with them right now, but I don't feel like when we get to the end game of the story, he's their dog in the same way I'm seeing Kizaru is right now.
Right.
That's what I mean. Have like the specifics on what that is gonna mean in terms of powers? No. In the vibe that Akainu, while he's taking the orders right now, I think if something smells funny, he really doesn't give a fuck. Like right now, he's going to take on, for lack of a better word, his body that nigga. He's gonna body that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
feel like if a feels like something smells funny, he's going to reject it. But I do not think pirates or the Revolutionary Army in that rejection. I think it's just going to be, and I haven't figured out what that alignment looks like.
Hmm.
But Kano is like people are setting this like a Kano versus Luffy thing. Kano to me is not. I don't see him as a villain in the way I see the Gorosei as the villain or Blackbeard as a villain. I see a Kano that did his job, and Luffy's mad that he did his job. But like evil plan at the top of my head, Akainu doesn't give me that. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
No, I
Is it
mean
just
Emu already like
that's like
the
a
introduction of Emu
big
more or
bad?
less like I would probably still have like an inkling that may be true if Emu wasn't introduced. As soon as he was, I was like, ah, okay. I mean, but the introduction to Emu was literally like he's now the big bad. At least in my head,
Yeah.
that's how I'm looking at it. So it's like knowing that and knowing that he's pretty much the head of, I mean, literally government, then that pretty much tells me that like a Akainu more or less has to address to him, right? AKA the whole of Navy now has to address to him. And the only one who is really like sticking out, at least in my opinion, would be Sword, like we already talked about, and then Aokiji, who more or less just left. Everyone else that's still there that isn't a part of Sword can, at least in my head, be looked at like as one unit slash weapon that Emu's going to end up using.
Right.
I do see the fracturing of what you're talking about, but I still feel like that's still relatively small in scale, at least as of right now.
Okay.
So I'd be curious to see how that happens later on. I can see that being like kind of a final showdown. You know what I mean? Where like the soldiers start to like I mean, like it all goes into the terms under revolution, right? It's like, should you really be taking your orders? What are you actually doing? Are you thinking about what you're doing? Is it ethically, is it morally wrong, et cetera, et cetera? And that's going to happen at the very last when they're just like, man, this is what I'm doing. We're like literally just killing innocents. I don't know, but you kind of get the point, right?
Yeah, no,
So,
and I hear that, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I definitely see Kizaru as the war crimes type of nigga. I do not see it
Yeah.
Like I see him
mean,
as like,
like,
yeah, I'm a
every-
military general and shit. I still feel that if the line is very black and white in what is wrong, he would not do it.
Who's that?
Akainu.
If Akainu ever came to that realization, I feel like it would have to be at the very end. Because if that happens like up top,
But
then
I don't
think
see
that makes
situation where, like, to me, from Akainu's perspective, I don't see anything he did as evil. Let's be honest.
I mean,
Like we're
okay, I see what you're
sympathetic
saying.
to Whitebeard, but like from Akainu, pirates. That's it. Like
Right.
I mean, like
it was black, and I got
none of
that
the Adamants
perspective
have done
on it.
anything evil. Like, right? I don't think any of them have done anything evil.
I mean, the Buster
I think
Call on
Kizaru's
the,
about
like
to,
Robin's Island, for example.
What he did to
What is Kizaru about to do?
The whole like beat the shit out of your student thing. Like I feel like that is
He's a traitor.
aligning you
He's
more
now a
evil.
traitor. That's not evil, right? It's the same concept of it's the same concept as what's his Kainu, where like he's doing the right thing for like the Marines. It's just that the main characters are like pirates, and technically in that world are villains.
No, but I
No,
guess is
I
I
think
feel
he-
like Kizaru has a bigger sense of being played, and it's still like I'm making the choice to be on this side. Where Akainu, like, yes, to a degree, he understands his vision of it is good and evil. I think he's already, and he's still like, yeah, I'm gonna play in the gray. Akainu, from the perspective and the events that have happened to him, to see this in a very black and white sense, like the Fuji. To him, the way I even see that perspective was still very black and white. Yeah, nigga, you're a traitor. Like, fuck that shit. But since the whole situation going on, Egghead, Kizaru is very aware of the like gray area bullshit that's going on between all of this shit, and he's still to go ahead and execute them. I don't see Akainu behaving in the same way. Am I saying that he still doesn't go and beat up his student? No, I'm not saying. I think the what he does is different. And that could be like, I just like, I feel like he holds the sense of Marine with more weight than Kizaru does. So I feel like if Marines are at play and they're not strictly seen as traitors, right? Like in like you explicitly aligned yourself with pirates, and from my perspective, I don't see where the gray is. That's the way I interpreted that situation with Fujitora. He's literally talking to the Gorosei. He knows like the whole shit that like Vegapunk isn't really like a bad guy. He knows the like political dynamics at play before he's about to do what he's continue to do that. I don't think Akainu operates the same way in that situation. Do I think he just aligns himself with pirates? No, but I don't think he operates the same way.
Well, I don't think. I think their thing is different, right? Like that's their justice or whatever is different.
Yeah.
And I agree. Kizaru would be more likely to just follow orders, right? But Akainu would be the one to kill a bunch of innocent people just in order to get to Luffy or Blackbeard, for example. I see Akainu as that. Like he gonna do whatever it takes to get these niggas.
That's interesting. I don't see that.
When Kizaru is just kind of following orders.
See, I don't see that for Akainu. I don't see Akainu killing innocents.
Oh, I do.
I disagree.
Really? That's
I think he's pretty much that character.
Yeah, the only reason how I see innocents getting involved, that it has to fall in the black and white alignment, which is like,
I mean, that's my point. I mean, like
with pirates. So now I see you as pirates. Then
exactly
from that perspective, innocents get killed. But what I'm saying is, island, right, or even Marineford, and like Luffy's over there. I do not see Akainu just killing Marines to get to.
Oh, I 100% think he will.
Really?
Akainu is the guy who like at O'Hara when the civilians, not the scholars, like when they were leaving on the ship, he blew up the ship because he said there's a chance that some of the scholars might be on that ship.
Boom.
Like he would definitely kill niggas
Well,
just
all
to
right, then I hear you.
hit his
I
goal.
don't remember that, but yeah, if that happened, then I agree with what you're
I
saying.
mean, it just fits his personality. Like, if he thinks that he's going to end up following the law, anything within that path of him executing the law is wrong. Like,
But
I
see,
I think like he has like that type of mindset.
This is why I say the gray breaks down Akanu's character, because the gray is actually like fictional. You know,
Well, I mean,
like the whole
what?
Gorosei people are actually evil. Like in his perspective, that shit that's going on right now to me is still right. Like he understands some of the nasty games that need to be played for justice. But what I'm saying, do you think he's aware of this emu shit? I feel like no.
I
feel
know.
like
I
that's
don't
solely
think
a.
Kizaru is either.
I don't
think Kizaru is either, but I think
I don't think
Kizaru
anyone
is
knows.
more up on the like some shit is going on thing than.
I
don't know
just
about that.
I think they both know, bro. I just think it's difference in their personalities where Kizaru is just going to go with the flow and do what they say, but Akainu, like, he thinks he knows best. He probably has his own ideas as of what's best, and he's more of an ends justify the means person anyway.
Right.
So as long as it, and he has his own idea of what justice is, so he would.
And that's my thing.
He has his own belief as opposed to Kizaru, who's just following orders.
Here's what I'm saying: if the is not convincing enough to justify who is doing his shit, I think he's going to change. I won't say switch sides. I just think he's going to change and execute differently. Kizaru, I think full story. That nigga is still following. That's the only point I'm trying to make. I feel like if that story sounds to Akainu in any way, behaves differently. That's all.
I'm curious. I mean,
Because
I can see both sides.
I'm still at the point of like I do not see like the whole horror thing is something I forgot about. So if that's the case, I see him as more of a villain. Not giving him any villain scenarios. I really just saw him as, look, bro, from his vision, all pirates are evil. And that's how he operates. But from this whole bigger perspective with the emu shit, more about this whole thing, the choices, the choices that were made are going to, and I think that's going to lean to Akainu going one of two directions or dying before that even happens. But it's just hard given his predecessors. Like it's just really like I do not see Sengoku as a bad person.
Yeah.
He made
Same with Garp.
Sengoku as a bad person. Garp is a bad person. Low-key, probably I don't know much about Kong. I don't see Kong as a person. So to me,
I don't think Fujitora is a bad person either.
It's like when the position, I don't see world domination as his thing. I just see anti-pirates as his thing. And that's it. And that's why I think he'll never align with the revolution. I think he's just very in belief, like almost like you believe that he could change the system from Akanu's trying to change the system from within. I think he thinks the system is right, and just more people need to be convinced that the system is right. And I think that Kizaru literally is like in a check.
Yeah, I don't think Kizaru would ever go against the. Yeah, I don't think he would ever go against the Gorosei niggas. But I think, like you said, I think if the right circumstance came up, he's like Akainu would definitely say, "Fuck y'all." I'm like, if they were like, no, let's leave Monkey D. Luffy alive. He would say, "No, fuck you. I'm going to kill this nigga because like he's a pirate and he deserves to die." He would do it. Yes.
So if the gray area ends up like they ask him to do some funny shit to politically benefit them,
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I agree with that.
We doing.
I mean, the only thing I'm gonna say of that nature is that I agree with everything y'all said. The only thing I'm gonna say is that I don't think that would happen, because if it did, based on like just us like figuring out like how emu is and like how the elders are, etc., they're gonna say, oh, you say no, say less, you gonna die now. And it's like when that happens, I don't feel like something like that significant would happen until like way down the line. I don't think they would just like body. I don't think like that decision will come up for a Kainu to say no, and then they go through the process of like getting a replacement, aka bodying a Kainu, unless it's like at the end. You know what I'm saying? Because of just based on the story itself.
But I
So,
think we're
like,
here.
yes,
though.
I can see it happening. I just don't see it really happening. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're
At
at
least
the
not
end.
right now.
So, well, we're definitely in the closing moments. I would say, the end, so to speak. So I feel like they get bigger, and decisions like the distance these characters were able to have from the decisions they made is less and less of a reality. Like it's not as far as it used to be.
Mm,
Before it's like, for example, Sengoku, we see him as a good guy, but we know in his leadership time decisions were made on his call. But he was far
mm,
enough to where like he understood it was a tough decision, but like blah 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 happened. I feel like all those decisions now are like right in these niggas' faces. Like every
mm,
admiral and all this other stuff. Like Al has to kill Garp with his own hands. You know what I mean? It's not like oh stuff and they were just there with Blackbeard. And he's like, no, I'm killing this nigga with my own hands. And I think those same decisions are coming up. Kizaru's decision to me, like Sentomaru and somebody he had a close relationship with, it was like insight to us as readers of like decision making. And I feel the same thing is going to happen fairly where we're going to really draw the line on where he's at. And I just don't see him
mm,
like I take absolute justice to the point where I see it as like it's reasonable why he thinks that way, and it could go either way depending on what choices he has to make. Which is that's where I'm like, okay, so certain decisions, I don't know what that decision is going to be, but I think something's going to be asked of him, and from he's going to play out in this final war bullshit, which is these niggas say all the time, no question. Am I going to move? Like I might listen to y'all, but I'm still going to move in the way I want to move, and I see him
mm,
as a very independent person. He's our order taker for sure.
mm.
That's
Yeah.
all he confirmed to me.
Okay.
He's taking order.
No,
And
Okay.
so is
see the
Green
I
Bull.
logic.
don't see
Green Bull
that.
is
See the
also an order
logic.
taker.
Wait, Green Bull what?
Green Bull is
I'll
also
give
an
him
order
that.
taker because he look up to
Oh, yeah.
the Tenryu,
Mhm.
the whatever they call.
But I think
Yeah.
he's one of those like overzealous kind of
Yeah.
like he's the one of he's the mother effer who's gonna like try and do some extra shit.
But he
Start
look up to
pop-
Akainu too. So who knows?
Mhm.
Oh well, I mean Green Bull's just a goofy, so it's like whatever.
Trash too. Fraud. Right. The One Piece combos, unless there's anything else to talk about with that.
No, man. I think that's it. For real.
All right.
For real.
Let's do a quick blitz through these. Close it out. So, do you want to start with your isekai?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just talk about it. Man, I've been watching a lot of isekai this summer, and like even reading isekai manhwa. So many. I just think it's an interesting idea. It's always fun. Like, what would you do if you went back in time with whatever? That's basically generally the story. But some that have been interesting. That I got reincarnated as a vending machine. The dude dies, reincarnated into a sword and board world, but he is a vending machine. And like the reason I watched this is because I'm like, but how, bro? Like
Yeah.
how is he gonna make this
Can he
happen?
fight? Like, what happened? Like, that was what I was interested in too. Like, is he drinks from the vending machine?
Bro,
Like,
so the way his thing works, he's a vending machine, and in order to stay on, he like consumes points. And in order to use any of his abilities or even vend anything, he uses points. and if he runs out of points, he dies. And the only way to get more points is to get coins, like to get nigga, like he has to get coins. So
Machine.
right, so like man, it's like the finesse is interesting. Like it's interesting because they really like, bro, I'm about to really be a vending machine in the other world. And there's like one or two magic powers, like the
Dude.
ability to transform into like any type of vending machine that he can like buy with points, and then like he can make like this barrier. But besides that, it's like he's just a vending machine.
Does the
And
concept
he
of
can
a vending
literally
machine
vend any
exist in
product?
this world?
No, it don't. Like niggas,
Oh.
like they call him, like they named him Boxo because they don't know like what he is. They was like, we gonna name this nigga Boxo, and all he can say is like you know, when you're in Japan, the vending machines they like got catchphrases. They'll be like konnichiwa, like hello. Like he can just say that, like oh hello, and like he has like a try again function. That's it. Like, and then his nigga just like he a vending machine. And then when he turned into like an obscure vending machine, he like pauses the anime and like explains where this vending machine is real and like they use it here in Japan for this reason.
They actually do that.
He's like, yeah, I'm a vending machine fanatic, bro. I know all the vending machines. And this nigga will turn into some shit, and then you like, bro, ain't no way there's a gas mask vending machine. And he's like, actually, there's a vending machine where they used to like sell clean air in smoggy cities, and it's like, okay, bro, I guess you that guy when it comes to vending machines. It's kind of funny.
So he can literally.
So does he actually go on?
Like,
oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, so like he has literally no limitations to like the products he sells in himself.
He does, right? Because anytime he transforms, it costs points, and anytime he vends anything, it costs points. And the only way he gets points back is by like inserting coins. So it's like it's a balance, right? Like he can't make anything, but he can make anything. Like his power set is listed to like all things vending machine, so he can buy a type of vending machine and then stock it with different things as long as it accepts that type of stocking. But
does he drop weapons? Can he vend weapons?
No, he can't vend weapons unless there's a weapon vending machine. He can vend panties. That nigga like, yeah, in Japan they got panty vending machines. Doo-doo-doo. Like that nigga, he's come up with some very interesting things to vend. And it's just like every time he like, nah, bro, like here the Carfax, bro. This exists. This is a real vending machine.
All right, so last
does he adventure or is he static?
He's an adventurer. Like he can't move, but like there's like this girl with like super strength that just carry her on his back, and like all the adventurers think he's just like a magic item. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh look, this magic item that give us food and like do other shit. You know, it's our nigga Boxo, but really. That nigga in the vending machine. Like,
wait, so does crazy. At least the chick who carrying him know that he's like sentient, like that he like?
Yeah, they know he's sentient because like he can say like 3 phrases and they're like, oh, does this mean yes? And he's like, he just says it, and like, oh, does this mean no? So they can talk to him in like yes and no through his vending machine catchphrases. And then like other than that, like they think he a magic weapon. They don't know that he like a nigga that got reincarnated.
Wow, dude.
I feel like
so it's low stakes, you know what I mean? It's just like, look, bro, if you bored and you want to pick me up and you want to see how a nigga could finesse using vending machines in a sword and board world.
Wow.
Okay, like you know what I'm saying? That's why I like isekais. They just big what ifs. Like, hey, bro, you think if you went back in time with a bunch of vending machines, you could take over? Might be shit.
Maybe.
And then one that I've been reading a lot of manhwa and or not reading them shit. I'll have like YouTube nigga read it for me. But I've been fucking with these manhwa, and there are 2 about like engineers. And I just find it interesting. Like, oh, like a civil engineer gets reincarnated, right? And then they turn like a shit town into like a decent one. And, you know, just run into issues like, and then they'll find like old school issues that can like solve problems. I just think it's cool. It gives me a new appreciation for some of the things we have, like apartment buildings and bridges and like fucking waste management, shit like that. Stuff that I'm like, I take for granted, but niggas in the old days like absolutely could not have taken for granted.
Like imagine not having a sewer system. Like GG.
You said what?
No, I mean, you're making up good points. Like just stuff, like basic stuff that we take for granted, just part of like, you know, our own human society infrastructure. Like waste management is huge, bro. I mean, like that caused deaths. like in the
Right?
thousands. You know what I'm saying?
When
Like, I mean,
one
that's
of the
something
ones I was
incredibly
watching,
significant.
literally, that happened. Like they was like, "Oh man, everybody's starting to get sick," and nobody knew why. All the old time people was like, "Oh yes, God must be pissed at us," and he was like, "Nah, we increased our numbers. We got like 30,000 people. Y'all niggas nasty. All right, we gotta organize a fucking treatment center and all that stuff." And I was just like, "Man, modern solutions, you know."
Crazy.
Right.
There's another one that I found interesting. That's about like a pastry chef that got reincarnated.
I think
I saw that one
I
on
didn't
the
look, I didn't look
list
into
too.
it. There was a couple clips that honestly didn't look too bad, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah,
Was it
it's
good?
not like high tiered action or anything. I just
Yeah.
think it's kind of funny. You know,
Mhm.
it's all right. But
Mhm.
then obviously the one that's goaded for being good is Jobless Reincarnation. Season 2 back. This nigga Rudy is dealing with erectile dysfunction. It's
yo, that's
hilarious.
wild
Like
to me, bro.
What?
this show, man.
Like,
What?
I was like, no way
So
they're exploring this in an anime.
in
Like, that's crazy.
spoiler alert for all the people that ain't caught
Oh
up to season 1.
shit.
Basically, this 35-year-old reincarnated man piped a 14-year-old, and after said piping, she left this man. and
Abandoned.
Oh
his
wow.
his only idea was that my dick game is so bad that she literally left me forever. Which, guys, that's usually not the case. Most women just kind of deal with your shittiness, all right? But that's what he thought. So now this man got erectile dysfunction because he can't get it up. He like, man,
Wild, bro.
I'm just too bad, you know? And it's so
Damn.
crazy that like probably the most powerful wizard in the world, his biggest problem, like he's at a wizard university and niggas like, bro, what you searching? You trying to figure out all the mysteries and that? That nigga like, bro, I'm trying to cure my ED, nigga. Like, you don't fuck about no
That's
mysteries.
It's wild,
That's
man.
insane. Oh no.
It's like, are you joking? Like,
Yeah,
what
he
a
built
what
different,
an
bro.
issue to tackle. You know, just like what?
Yeah,
I
my
don't
nigga
know.
Rudy is get, you know, I feel him get your shit right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So many isekai out there. There's probably an isekai at this point for any random what if you could think of.
I mean,
What
it's
if you
getting
went back in
there,
time with
dude.
your cell phone? They got it.
Crazy.
What if
Right.
I saw one that was like the Japanese modern military versus like sword and board niggas? It was horrible, bro.
Oh,
Like
wait,
a
pause.
shield and
Actually, wait.
sword
If we talk
arrow
about the
can't do
same
shit
thing,
against artillery.
no, what was it called? Gate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gate.
actually, I like that. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I kind of like that. It
That
was
shit
a
was
very
hilarious to
interesting
see these
concept.
niggas like just in awe at how far away you could get shot with artillery shells. And then I think it helps people who think like modern day war is like the old days where a bunch of niggas clashing or fighting on the battlefield. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, in modern day war, niggas kill you from multiple miles away. You can't even see
Yeah.
them on the horizon. Shit
What's
just
what's that
blows.
one called?
It's called
Gate.
Gate.
It's kind of old now, but
Yeah, it's about like
honestly, it's
a
decent.
gate appears in the middle of Tokyo, and like some fucking horse and sword and board niggas come in and attack Tokyo. And after that, Tokyo like, all right, get the military, and they go in with tanks and jets and shit and fucking demolish these niggas, bro.
Just
It's
bomb
dope.
them niggas.
Yo.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's not even close. Like it's exactly what you expect to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's a pretty short series then.
Yeah. Pretty sure you just supposed to be like, this is
It's
what
more
the
than
fuck
12 though. I think it was like 24 or something if I remember right.
Damn.
But it's a decent watch, honestly.
Yeah, it's solid. It's fun.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
that's
watch
it, man. Y'all peep them isekai.
All right. I'll jump to comics real quick. So I did catch up with Wakanda Forever, but I watched Ant-Man and I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It was a solid movie. I really enjoyed it. I was watching it for King. I fell asleep first time I watched it. I had to watch it again.
Damn.
And then Secret Invasion. That shit was funny to me. I don't know where I place it yet amongst all the other series. Jokes to me, like the subtle black interaction, on top of the fact that, spoiler alert, was a scroll. So it was like was having this banter back and forth with Sam and Nick Fury and Rhodey, and it's just all this black shit like, oh yeah, da-da-da-da. Like, wait a minute, you're a scroll, nigga. From
Right? I just wanted to see Rhodey be like, nigga. I'd have been like,
Right.
like, can we get a scroll for blackface, bro?
Yeah, right. And I like the racial undertones. I would say I thought it was like, Marvel's never gonna go deep with it, but I thought the second episode there's a scene with the white guy, the scroll that turned into like the white guy from the Captain Marvel movie, was Talos and Nick Fury, and Nick Fury's basically like, look, like, do you see how like literally we just different colors this shit up? Like, there's no place for aliens amongst our fucking society. Yeah,
that was hilarious. He like, are you outside your reptilian ass mind?
Right. I thought that was like just great framing for. I was like, oh, I wonder. I don't think they went this deep with it, but like the fact that Talos was to me was like, bro, Sam should have. I mean, motherfuckers black, so y'all would get it in y'all skulls. Like, this shit ain't for you. Like, it's not gonna work out. And the main villain guy being black and like trying to do all that shit to me was also like another like little. I don't know if they meant it intentionally. Like, okay, y'all did that on purpose.
You know, I can add on to there, like, so one thing with Secret Invasion that like was a little tough for me is like part of me is like, yo, this is not Nick Fury, this is Samuel L. Jackson,
100%.
who just happens to be being called Nick Fury, and part of me was like, I don't like that because I like consistency in character, right? But then the other part of me was like, this nigga Sam Jackson's hilarious, right? Because I promise you, when that nigga Talos was like, yeah, it's like a couple hundred scrolls on Earth, and Talos was like, hey, big dog, I let 1 million of them on here while you was gone. First, I was like, 1 million? And my nigga Sam Jackson was like, nigga, you outside your motherfucking mind. You like 1 million scrolls in this bitch. I was like, bro, I felt every second of that because I'd have been like, I'd have lost my shit if I'd have been like, okay, I got to deal with like a couple hundred scrolls, you know, who knows who they might be. This nigga said 1 million? I'm like, bitch.
Right.
I can't believe that shit was hilarious. But then, like, what else was good? I thought the show was like funny at times. Other times it was mid. I put it like middle of the pack. Like, it's alright. I thought that the dude that played Graphic, the bad dude, that man was killing some of his scenes. Great job acting. I never seen him before, so put that nigga in more shit. Rehire that nigga. And then shit. Who else I like?
I like some of the
like
camera
the
plays.
Weren't that fucking sneaky for this to be like, it was like portrayed as like a sci-fi, like, or not sci-fi, like a spy thriller.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very spy-y. It was kind of like, oh, there was like one twist. Rhodey's a scroll, nigga. Who didn't see that coming, bro?
Right.
You know
I was like, my question was the moment. Like, so we gonna learn about, and I haven't got to the end, so it might have already been answered. But where the fuck is the real Rhodey at? Like, we know this nigga.
Oh yeah, you find
like, oh okay. I'm like, y'all just tied this nigga up, didn't say shit.
Do you want the ending? There's some part about the ending that was like very interesting to me. I want to talk about, but I don't know how much.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right, there's just like the ending where, obviously they find out. You know, they tell them about the scrolls, and just like me and Sam and any human would be like, bro, it's 1 million shapeshifters on this bitch. Everybody's like, kind of like, yo, it's rough.
Your scroll,
but I think they captured real life so good because usually in the MCU, niggas don't react in real life. They be like, damn, aliens in this bitch. Guess I'm gonna go to Starbucks today, bro. When they found out skulls, niggas was blicking niggas on national TV like, doo doo doo. Oh shit, that's not scroll running off. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers really hit the height of like, I have no idea what's going on. I think you a scroll, bro. You're getting killed on broad daylight in TV. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, that would definitely happen in real life.
Oh yeah. But, yeah. No, I really did appreciate that part, and I agree with you. But like, let me know if I'm wrong. So my understanding of Nick Fury really comes the Spider-Man animated TV show, and he was giving very like Batman, for lack of a better word, meaning like he was just, I really don't give a fuck how you feel. This is like kind of my end goal, and I'm just gonna means necessary. Is that how he is in the comics?
I don't know. Like, I don't specifically watch that nigga or read for that nigga Nick Fury.
Okay.
I ain't never read a Nick Fury centric story. Every time
Yeah.
I see him, he's just kind of like a side character to what superhero niggas are doing.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, his portrayal is that like he's like a super spy, right? He got hella secrets. Every time somebody's like, "Yeah, bro, look at this crazy thing that we found out," Nick Fury was like, "Yeah,
It's
I
like
knew
I
about
already
that.
knew that.
I already knew about that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I knew about that 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's really all I know him for. Is
Okay.
that I feel like Nick Fury, if he was really being comic book Nick Fury, he'd have been like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, there's 100,000 scrolls," and Nick Fury would be like, "You lying, bro? I know it's a
Yeah.
million of them." You know
Million,
what I'm saying?
right? Yeah.
That would have been some Nick Fury shit.
Already scared. Yeah. No. To me, what I did appreciate for this is the humanity they add with the basically Samuel Jackson part, like the fucking the scroll / black woman. I thought that was interesting. And on top of that, I just liked seeing, I liked seeing him around people he could trust, because I felt way I'm used to Nick Fury is he doesn't trust anybody. It's like you don't really know what he's thinking, kind of with the type of stuff. But I felt like in this series, you actually saw him around niggas that he considered, and it was cool to see him on that level of like, I'm not just this big boss guy that like is guiding y'all. It's kind of like, oh, I'm kind of in like the whole Talos interactions and all that stuff.
I was just gonna say, to that point, I thought, like, again, like you said, like humanizing the character. What they did, instead of just being like, "Oh, he know everything," it was like, "Yo, he's always had like a secret group of 20
figure shit out
all around the world, getting him information no nigga."
He had the best spy group ever.
That's actually really hard.
Yeah,
like that makes sense. Instead of it's just like, yeah, for some reason this black man can just infiltrate Russia. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right?
Yeah. Like I like that they explained how he became that raw ass nigga, because it never really made sense how like this man was like, he was that guy and the height of like racism and shit like that. How was he doing all that stuff? But I think
he was like,
the humanizing was a little too much for me though. A little bit too much humanizing for me. I'm like, I still want Nick Fury to be Nick Fury at the end of the day. You know, like he too.
Yeah, that man. He ain't
I don't know. The scenes were like I said, his interaction with the other was fucking hilarious. Like the roadie sit down was funny as hell, and then when he like beat up the security guard, he was like, oh, you're fired. He was like, all right, bitch, you think you go.
That was a black ass interaction. He like, you
oh
fire me? Nigga, I got you your job.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just thought that you were great, and at that moment, I felt like never liked Rhodey. No disrespect to Don Cheadle, great actor. I just didn't like him as Rhodey. I'll say that. But this moment, him as a Skrull, I felt like that was what he was there for. Like Skrull Rhodey the best to me, because I don't think Terry Crews could have played that role, or not Terry Crews. What was his name? Terrence Howard could have played a coon. Like, like I just thought that shit fit. Like I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't want to be like sexist or nothing like that. But I felt like Skrull Rhodey, before I knew it was a woman, felt a little spicy. I was like, bro, like the shit he's saying, I'm like, man to man, you need your ass whooped, Rhodey.
No, that's good. That's right.
And then
he was talking crazy.
He was talking mad crazy.
I was like, bro, you talking shit that get your ass whooped, bro. I don't know too many dudes that talk like that and not ready to box about it. And then it was like, oh, it's a woman. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I saw that shit coming. I was like, bro, Skrull Rhodey was super spicy with niggas. Like, bro, he was like, bitch, did you wake up and drink dumb juice? I was like, nigga, in the workplace? Bold.
That's a black man double bowl. Nigga, they get you.
Put your ass right up out of there, nigga.
Only reason I think like only reason Nick Fury didn't, because he knew he was a Skrull at that point. Like if any other time, I feel like he definitely would have thrown hands on that nigga for sure.
Bro, Rhodey, who the
he was
fuck
talking
are you
crazy.
talking to? All this Avenger shit aside, bro. Like, who you talking to, bro?
Right. Because to me, he said that because I was like, this joke is not funny. He was getting interviewed by those people, and he was like about the whole Russia situation, and he was like, "Yeah, I should have carpet bombed. I wish I like Sweden or whatever the country that asked him the side question for. Like, bro, you playing around with niggas' lives. Like, that's not fucking funny.
Yeah.
And then after that, he went back to that joke. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think then I should have peeped like, oh, this nigga was a scroll, but I didn't peep then. But I was like, this is a weird, really odd joke to just be
TV,
making.
No less.
Right.
Hey, real quick, did we start recording or something, or is it just me?
Yeah, I got that.
Oh, I did. Hold on. Let me hit
browser
it.
preventing recording.
Someone else is recording.
I'm recording. Get y'all shit up, bro.
Like refresh or something.
Shit just ended.
Do y'all got re-enter?
Oh, it said refresh. Let's see.
Yeah, let me come. Let's see.
Yeah, he refreshed and he back in.
All right.
Let me refresh.
All right. Yeah, the issue message is gone. That was weird.
We back.
Yeah, I mean, but then to the other stuff MGG was talking about, Ant-Man 3, ass. I was like, bro, y'all shouldn't even. This should have went straight to DVD, bro. Ant-Man 3 was.
Ant-Man 3. What happened? I don't.
Quantum.
Kane got beat up by some
Oh.
ants. They went into some goofy, shitty CG ass world.
Yeah.
Was drinking goo and talking about hoes, bro. That shit was ass.
The goo was funny. I appreciate it. The goo part was funny.
I am looking forward to Loki though. Like,
yeah,
you think so?
I'm looking
so
forward
from
to
what
it.
I understood from the whole King shit, so now this King Dynasty stuff at the end is really just the King that was in that movie was the guy who eventually became He Who, and we basically just got that nigga out of commission. He was not him.
No, because He Who Remains didn't have scars. This King got scars on his face. Those are different niggas.
Okay, so he's just a totally different. I'm trying to save you niggas or whatever. And I figured that's what He Who Remains did when all the King shit was going on. He was a nigga that basically was like, here's how I want.
All these niggas are all like fucked up, I think. He Who Remains is just a nigga that won at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think they all the same. Like, He Who Remains literally deletes universes at a whim, same as the other nigga, but they try and portray him as he way worse. Like, them niggas doing the same shit. One nigga just won and gets to say that he's the good guy.
Got him. That's life.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Right. What else dropped? Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was.
Yeah, they ate all 3 volumes, bro. That was decent.
Yeah.
James Gunn, you better turn DC up, bro.
He's not. I'm
speaking of that though. I'm gonna say this: Blue Beetle. I think that the numbers it did horrible. I think it made like less than 50 million. Oof, that's rough, bro.
Damn.
But
that's on them, bro. No promotion at all.
That's true.
No promo. It was shot as a TV show, or no, it was shot to go directly to HBO Max, and then they just decided to release that bitch in theaters. No promo, nothing. And it was actually decent. Like of the DC movies, is one of the better ones. Wow. I think that once they hit HBO, niggas gonna watch it and it's gonna turn around.
Yeah, they put all that money into the Flash. Like they put a hella bread into that. Like they've been talking about that shit for years, bro.
Yeah.
Like Ezra Miller was just entirely too annoying of a character to have 2 roles. Like, I got to hear this nigga talking twice as much, bro. No way.
Who?
You need to get that Oscar Isaacs, bro.
Put Grant Gustin in this bitch, bro. That's my Flash.
Hey, that would have been decent.
Yeah, they should have fucking
some more, bro. They're still making seasons. The fact that Netflix still be updating with new seasons of the Flash, bro.
No, I think they're done, right?
Speedsters he's at, but I don't.
They done. They gotta be done, bro. They gotta be. Sure? I stopped watching a while back.
Few months ago, Netflix got updated with some more.
You know, Netflix is behind. Netflix is a little behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but still. So you think they ended? Because god damn, I don't know how many.
Shit, last thing.
Writing rooms. They just put.
Last thing I'll touch on with the fucking comic book shit. It's like Star Wars. Star Wars Ahsoka just dropped
How is
like
it?
2 episodes. I watched it. It's okay. If you big into Star Wars, you'll like it. But if you are like been watching the side Star Wars TV shows, I feel like
Mhm.
each of them tried to tackle like a different genre that fit into Star Wars. Like Mandalorian is like your Western. That one I forgot. Andor is
Andor.
like your political thriller, and then this one is kind of like your Jedi lightsaber one. Every episode so far, niggas done whipped out lightsabers and bang. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's all right.
Like I watched only a few episodes of the show. Does it matter that much,
Rebels.
or is it literally just that she's that nigga's apprentice, and then that's about it?
I think that they lean entirely on the idea that you've watched Rebels. Because as a nigga that didn't watch it, I'll be like,
Uh,
who the fuck are these characters? They don't give you no background. They like, yeah, here go this bitch. Like, yeah, you know her. I'm like, bro, y'all not Marvel. You don't got that type of weight. You can't just be like, yeah, nigga,
right.
I know you watched my show. Like, no, we
Especially
didn't.
those shows, because
Yeah.
I feel like you're switching audiences with the live action show. Like that was a very
Animated shit, right? Yeah, yeah.
like it wasn't even like an adult cartoon. Like that was
Yeah.
thick
That
with.
shit was on
Like I was
Disney
like,
I didn't
XD.
watch this.
so it's like so you're telling me, yeah, that group of niggas grew up, but like they're not the niggas that are solely watching this show.
You
Like
know what this is
so
like?
that's
This is
interesting
like
that they were
having a
doing that.
Rugrats all grown up, except that shit is live action. And but like you don't
Right.
say shit like you just start doing shit with this nigga Tommy Pickles and all that. Like,
Rugrats. Call it
yeah, you
Tommy.
ain't
They
watched
just called
nothing
it Tommy.
Rugrats, bro. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, bro,
Yeah,
y'all
you
see
just called
Andrew
it Tommy.
Tommy? Like,
Who?
who knew that was a Rugrats
Right?
sequel, bro? That's
That's
exactly what it
hilarious.
feel like.
Yeah.
I'm just there to watch niggas swing lightsabers around, bro. But,
Wow. Okay. All right. So in gaming, couple new games came out. I am probably it's Starfield. It should be.
I don't know,
I hope so.
PS5 ass.
If it is, I'm gonna catch it on that. Uh, came out Armored Core 6. If you're one of those people, I started it. No comments yet. Final Fantasy 16. I got a few months ago. Played that. Still a good game, I would say. If you like to motherfuckers get the shit beat out of them, that was the game. Is the icon battles. And then what else? I'm getting it. Well, I got it. The Chainsaw Massacre game. I'm gonna see how fun that is. And then I think those are like the bigger releases. I know it
Baldur's Gate.
just dropped. Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate. Sorry, I didn't play it, but that was also one that got a lot of buzz over the
Yeah, I
past few
played a
months.
lot of Baldur's Gate. Um, it's alright. It's good. It's like your standard D&D game. If you want to play D&D and have never and you don't got enough people to play, pick up Baldur's Gate. The story is solid. You get the exact same experience of D&D, except you know, a computer rolls the dice for you and does the story. But it's pretty fun. It's really fun.
Ice in the game too.
Yeah, you got to roll dice. Yeah, all
Oh,
your
that's good.
attacks, like literally everything works exactly the same as Dungeons and Dragons. It's just automated.
So people can just play. Well, but like, can Baldur's Gate? I guess is
Yeah,
the
you
question.
can play up to 4 people. You
Oh,
can
okay.
host a game. You can play
But
solo. You can
but
play.
there's no DM tech. The DM
Yeah,
is the
like
game.
they stop and even do narrations during the cutscenes. Like
Uh,
so, there's a DM, but like it's just the computer. Like your game is your DM.
okay.
It rolls the dice for you, all that stuff, and it got a solid story. A bunch of different ways you can handle it. Interesting characters, like it's solid.
I might give that a shot. All
Hmm.
right. And then yeah, so you're saying Nintendo's ass PS6 is a mid?
Yeah,
What?
now that we've all had time, I mean, I didn't mean PS6, I meant PS5, but now that we've all had time to play with all these games, you feel me? I think is easy to say Xbox, currently is on top of the new gen. Look, Nintendo does what
Highly
Nintendo
disagree.
is doing, and it is that look when Pokemon games come out, it's gonna be a buzz. If a new Mario Party, something like that, new Smash Bros, it's gonna be a buzz. But for the most part, they just a tired old dog doing the same tricks. PlayStation 5, bro. Niggas wanted to play Big Bank with the exclusives, and now Xbox big banking you niggas, and y'all ain't got no exclusives. Now we got all the games, right? Y'all about to play for Starfield. I'm about to get that for free. It's over with.
Well,
We getting A1 games for free.
anyways, so on the three console conversation, I would consistently, and I would say the best console for a casual has to be the Switch, hands down. I don't see how you could make an argument that any of those other systems are better. Go back to consistently, like over a period of time, it is a very pick up and play type of system. If you're, I don't think, I feel like if you're a hardcore gamer, if you consider Nintendo a part of that, it's for a very specific game in Nintendo. So like if you're Nintendo as that system, it's because you're playing like one of the other Mario games. It's hard for me to call you a hardcore gamer, I guess. I don't think they would call themselves hardcore gamers with the Mario games. Or you're playing Smash or one of those other ones. Other than that, though, if you're a casual gamer, I think the Switch is the best system to go to, hands down. The way I've interacted has been a game series that I've followed for a long time, or something super interesting has come out, and then I played it on my PS5 for a few hours, and then really invested in this, and then just drop it on the floor.
Mm.
That's been my interaction with my PlayStation 5. My Switch, I can just pick up at any time and just do it. The portability is the collaboration is unmatched. Like if I have people coming over, can easily get them on a Switch game and playing versus like to make your or PlayStation 5 a collaborative system that's not online costs you hundreds of dollars. More those don't come inherent with the collaboration. I gotta go buy those, and then I need people to come over enough to warrant me. So usually by the time I get somebody coming over, I'm not PS5 controller ahead of time. Just never happens.
Mm-hmm.
But to play with multiple people at any point in time. So that's how I am. So I would say for a casual gamer like myself, Switch go to console. It's very pick up and play. All games on there are very pick up and play. Even if you're a hardcore Pokemon fan, you can easily pick up a Pokemon game. You do not need to sit there and like you could play for 30 minutes, put that bitch down, come back to it months later and still be at that same point and level of interest as you was before.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say about games, really. So we'll get an update when Starfield drop. I'm gonna go crazy on that game.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play it. I want to see how it goes if it makes it because I played No Man's Sky recently. Well, not recently, but with my PC, and I'm seeing if I want to see if that gives me more life because I don't know. I need more action than exploration. I thought I was gonna like No Man's Sky a lot more than I did, but it's too much for me. I'm like, I
You
don't
know
have
something? I
the
agree.
lifetime.
I think No Man's Sky is like too much of a base builder. And then another issue
Yeah.
I have with space-based games is that they try and encapsulate the vastness of space by making like these gigantic maps and all that. But like,
That have
bro,
shit
real
on
talk,
nothing
space
on
is
them.
just mainly empty, and that's not fun. Like, I don't need to travel through empty nothingness. Send me to the planet, bro.
Right.
Fair.
Exactly. That's why I was like life. I really breathed life into space. I felt the emptiness of space playing that game. I'm hoping
Mm-hmm.
Starfield gives me more of the action. Like, and if
I
it
agree.
does, then I think that'll be right there. And then I might get that Cyberpunk because they saying that Phantom. So, and they said there's some improvements coming there. I haven't played it yet.
Cyberpunk on the same list as Kubo. Niggas ain't getting me again.
Damn.
They got me. Hype
Damn.
me up
I
too
thought you
hard.
say you. I thought you said it wasn't that bad. I thought you said people was gassing that hate.
I will say that it wasn't that bad. However, upon further review, right? Because I was delusioning myself. Oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Wow.
But then I like just
Yeah.
went back to the
Further
hype though.
review.
What was promised?
Yeah.
Not even just niggas hyping it. What these niggas put in words. What they was gonna deliver. They ain't deliver none of that shit. They actually robbed me. I was robbed. niggas robbed me in this cool. Like, oh, we got DLC. Nigga, no, you robbed me, bro.
Yeah, they trying to get your money back with the DLC. They should get. Do they give it to people for free though? If you already got the game,
You know they ain't doing that shit for free.
Oh well, fuck that. All right. Anything else on decent news? If not, we can jump to our MVPs and the past 3 months. All right, my goofy. Fraud Kuna. I just feel like not that the fight is lackluster. The fight is amazing, but just from him as a person, talking all that shit and just not tempering it with is just wild to me. And then the confidence of saying this is a 3, like against a guy who you was real confident, I thought was just absolutely crazy. So he's my goal. My MVP is going to be a collective going to a lot that has dropped in Shonen Jump lately. I'm reading there's Nui's Exorcist, Giganshi, Undead Unluck has been good, and then Fabricant 100. They've 4 or 5 like series that I'm keeping up with week to week, and I think they got the potential to not to. I'll say, so I'll give them MVPs. I think world I'm finding myself starting to make that shift to the new series again. Next versus these current series that are really like dragging themselves to the finish line, for lack of a better word. So that's me.
I think I'll go ahead and go. My goofy, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Thorfinn. Been watching what's that? Vinland Saga season 2, and like, man, I get it. Thorfinn went through a lot, but like, I'm used to anime characters having anime reactions. This nigga just like broken. He like, nigga, I quit. Like, I'm gonna be
like Farming Simulator.
Yeah, I'll play Farming Simulator and just be a slave, man. It's dead. I'm just like, bro, Thorfinn, you know we watching the show, right, my nigga? Like, get up and do something, bro. So he's my goofy. And then my MVP, I'm gonna give it to Boxo. Because like I just knew when turning on Reincarnated as a vending machine that it was just about to be the goofiest shit ever. But I find myself actually factually educated on vending machines. And for that, my nigga, for educating me on some shit I never thought I would want or need to be educated on. MVP, bro. And he got bitches too.
Shit, go crazy.
How?
Hey, they like snacks too, I guess, So I guess I'll go, I guess. My goofy also goes to Sukuna or Sukuna, however you say it. But really Fraud Kuna, like you said. It's just disappointing, Again, talking all that shit and now you're trying to jump niggas instead of having a straight up one-on-one fight. So my goofy goes to him. And then my MVP is tough. You know what? I'll give my MVP to Bleach. For years I've been like hating on Bleach, the manga. I still support that manga. It was trash, especially towards the end. But I would say Bleach is definitely one of those series that's just better as an anime. I'm sort of like a million times better as an anime. Yeah, sure, they're flying by the everything is going pretty quickly, but that's cool with me. Like it's pretty like it. I actually understand it more than when I think I read it. So overall, I think the anime has saved Bleach ending for me. So officially, I'm now changing like the Bleach rating. So it doesn't exist anymore to me. So I will no longer call things Bleach. If it's super trash, just call it something else. I don't know. Maybe My Hero, something like that.
But My Hero's definitely trying to take that. It's fighting for the bottom.
Yeah.
I'd accept the change of the rating going to My Hero.
I'm down. MHA, My Hero Academia slap.
Yeah, I think that's the new.
Damn. Well, I mean,
Switch
majority
it.
already serves them. That's 3 to 5.
I will mention, since we're talking about Bleach, to Mass Demasculine as an MVP. I just like to see that fight animated.
Is that's the Stern Litter, the wrestler Stern Litter?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my guy.
I thought
the
that shit
wrestler?
was the wrestler
That's my
homie.
boy.
Like
Yeah,
it was funny
the
in the
best one.
manga, but it's funnier animated. Him
Yeah.
just like clotheslining niggas and putting holes through people, and then the Mass Demasculine pumping him up.
Yeah.
I thought that fight was great to see again. So
Yeah,
shout out
he
to
was
him.
the best one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about Bleach. I mean, the animation is good, but I don't know. I just still got certain gripes with like, but that's gonna be another conversation. I'll save that for another time. I forgot to talk about that earlier. But anyways, MVP got to give it to Gojo. Again, he came back and he came back with a vengeance. We haven't seen him for like literally what, years? Kind of,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think
At
it's
least
got to be at
one
least
at
a
a bare
year.
minimum.
More than a year.
It's been more than a year, right? That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
more than a year.
But in any case, he came back with the hands that we knew that he had. The anime. I'm talking about the anime and the manga. I mean, it's just about like just straight seeing of this man, like just be in action is like redonkulous. Literally said it from F1 that he's the realest one in this show and held true to it literally throughout. So got to give him mad respect when mad respect is due. Goofy, shit. That's where it gets tough. Trying to think of some clear goofies right now. I mean, F around. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I just thought of when I was thinking about it right now is just Looney Tune Luffy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I'm not gonna straight give him like I'm not gonna give him Goofy status for the definition of how we've been using Goofy. I'm gonna use it for like actual like cartoon Looney Tune character Goofy. I mean, I don't know how else to best represent that than Luffy going Gear 5 against Kaido and doing some of the ish that he actually did from looking at that anime episode. It's like, wow. Like I said before, like the anime more or less just reinforced everything that was said in the manga, but to see it in real life too, it's like, shit, they really did make this kid a cast of the Looney Tunes show now. If he made surprise appearances, I would not be surprised. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'll give it to him for that.
Okay. All right, I think that's it. I'm sorry. In the background, I was just looking up some Gus information to see if maybe they had some feats on how goated this man El Diablo was. But apparently they don't. They haven't added him to the. I was looking to see if they put this nigga on there.
He ain't built like that, bro.
Anyways, that's it, y'all. Thanks for joining.
Wow.
Shout out to all the people who saw us at conventions this summer. Con season is over. Hope to catch y'all next year. To BlurCon, and then we were at one more con, MomoCon.
MomoCon.
That came to see us, maybe new to the podcast or old folks. Thanks again for coming to see us. In the next one. See ya.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.